Warning, the following high school football game is not for the faint of heart.
He's trying to look downfield, being chased down by Devin Porter. He throws it out of bounds. Howe has the game. Here's Zagleski.
Please take all necessary precautions.
To the 3, to the 2. He's in. It is touchdown time in Texas.
Howe Bulldogs football is on HoweEnterprise.com and is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm, Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Attorney Micah Belden.
Intercepted. Brought down by J.C. Helpenstell.
Bucks Nord Barbecue, Tech Wave, Robertson Welding Services, Knight Furniture, FBC Howe, Howe Athletic Booster Club, Independent Bank, Exalt Realty.
Throw the football, the ball's on the turf. Howe says they have it, and they do. Austin Lee comes up with a football.
Now get ready because it's football time in Texas on HoweEnterprise.com.
Mason Riggs, look out. He's got the 30, 35. He's got some speed. 50, 45. It's a foot race to the 30, 25, 20. Kiss him goodbye. 89 yards.
Here's the voice of Howe Bulldogs football, Monty Walker.
The Howe Bulldogs come into tonight's game needing a victory to help gain control over their playoff goal. With a wobbly loss last week to Bonham, the Dogs have united as one and have traveled here to Rains County, where they will face a team also in dire need of a district win. The Rains Wildcats are 2-2, coming off a District 5A opening 51-0 thrashing by Howe's dark rival, the Van Alstyne Panthers. It's a warm evening, a homecoming evening, and the district temperature is rising as well. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rains County, Wildcat Stadium in Emory, Texas. Monty Walker along with Justin White and Caroline Slauson. Our spotter, Stephen Braswell, is with us tonight. As we mentioned, it's homecoming. They'll start going through those preparations and celebrations in just a moment. I guess when you go 1-9, the previous year, everybody's homecoming, and that seems to be the case so far tonight. But the Howe Bulldogs looking to rebound from last week's loss to Bonham. It was a really good football game, especially in the first half. Howe came out in the second half, couldn't keep up physically with the Bonham Warriors, and Howe looking for a win tonight to get in that win column in district, Justin.
Yeah, this is a game that is a winnable game for the Bulldogs. It's really for both teams tonight coming in 0-1. It's not a must-win, but it's one. If you end up losing this game, you really got your work cut out for you if you plan to make the playoffs. So it's kind of an important game for both teams.
We'll check that on the sideline for the first time tonight. Our Knight Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson. Talk about the temperature and what kind of evening is it down on the field tonight?
Guys, I'm down here talking to Coach Rose and Moondog.
Well, get away from Moondog.
Moon was about to interrupt you, actually.
Oh, no.
I was going to let him. Hold on, let me get the temperature up here, guys. I'm so sorry. Slacking on the job.
We kind of just threw it on you.
Well, it feels very good. There's a nice breeze. I would say it's 70s, 80s. I'm not, but low 70s or low 80s.
That's very official.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. My phone's. Maybe you should just come.
I see a lot of people wearing shorts so it feels pretty decent outside.
Yeah, it's a nice little breeze.
There's a great breeze.
So it is homecoming tonight, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on. And we'll try to announce the homecoming. We want to say thanks to Verona's Italian Cafe. They provided some awesome lasagna up here for our pregame meal. The Howe Bulldogs 3-2 on the year, 0-1 in district play. Of course, we mentioned that loss to Bonham a week ago. The Rains Wildcats come in 2-2 and 0-1 in district. They got a game that had to be canceled due to rain earlier in the year, and so they're minus a game. The Wildcats have scored 47 points on the year, giving up 103, averaging about a 14-point loss per game. So again, that 51-0 loss a week ago at Van Alstyne may have skewed those numbers just a bit. Howe, conversely, is 25 average points per game and giving up 27 per game. Rains head coach Randy Barnes is formerly a Tyler Lee assistant. His record here at Raines is 8-17. He's no stranger to head coaching football games. Overall record, 128 wins, 93 losses, and 1 tie. He's had 13 playoff trips, and his seasons over here in Raines is 5-6, 1-9 in 2017, and then so far 2-2 in 2018. This is game number 760 for the Howe Bulldogs. Howe has an overall record of 385 wins, 350 losses, and 24 ties since the first game back on September the 20th, 1935. It's the first ever matchup between Howe and Raines, ever. Never met. Howe is the 5th smallest school in Class 3A Division I, but are faring well statistically with the large disadvantage. Howe has scored 125 points and given up 135 in the first 5 games of the season. Howe's 3-2 record is largely due to the impactful running game that has accumulated 1,390 yards, which is 278 per game. With 185 rushing yards tonight, Howe will surpass the entire season of 2017's 1,574 rushing yards. The Bulldogs also threw their first touchdown pass of the season last week, a 32-yard strike from Bryce Krantz to Elijah Campbell. The Bulldogs have accumulated a total of 1,476 yards of offense through 5 games, which averages 295.2 yards. And they've allowed a total of 1,607 yards, which is 321.4 per game. A year ago, Howe averaged 240 yards of offense per game and allowed 340 per game. So improvements have taken place since 2017. The run game is the difference so far on each side of the ball, where Howe is rushing for 121 more yards per game than a year ago. The Dogs' defense is also allowing 18 less yards rushing per game by the opponent. The ball control on offense eliminates drives by the opponents, and that adds up to more yardage and more points. We'll see new players tonight as Jackson Adkins and Jordan Jones has been called up from the junior varsity. And if you're wondering about October the 5th and Howe Bulldog history, it's not been a great one. In 1944, Howe lost to Denison B team on this day, 12-0. In 1962, Howe lost to Salina 34-8. In 1973, they lost to Wolf City 13-7. In 1979, beat Cooper 6-0. In 1984, lost to Springtown 17-13. And then some success. In 1990, beat SNS 27-0 on this day. In 2001, beat Anna 14-0 on this day. And in 2007, beat Bells on October 5th. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll have the Senior Spotlight and the Coaches Show coming up right after this.
For your 2018 Raines.
Monty, that was Damius Karowski on the tackle. Hey, this is Michael Mosier. I may not be up in that luxury outdoor suite on top of the press box, but hey, I'm still supporting the Bulldogs. I'm proud to be a part of the Howe Athletic Booster Club, where it's only $25 to become a member. I may have retired from pronouncing those difficult names on Friday nights, but I can say go Dogs without batting an eye. Become a black and white, towel-waving Bulldog fan by signing up at each home game behind the home bleachers, and remember, Aljundo Dakenstater on the stop.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Coaches Show with Bill Jailing. The Coaches Show is brought to you by FBC Howe. Now let's join Monty Walker with Bulldogs head coach Bill Jailing.
All right, Coach, going solo this week. Our cameraman is out of town. The first drive last week, you did exactly what you wanted to do against Bonham, drove 16 plays all the way down the field, took half the clock. Weren't able to get points out of it, though. How did that set the tone for the rest of the game?
I thought it set a great tone for the game. I mean, we were able to control the clock that whole first drive. I mean, even though we didn't get points, I was ecstatic because I looked up at the clock and there was about 4 minutes left in the quarter, and you can't ask for anything better than that. I wish we would have got points. I still don't believe that was an offsides. But again, I never trust anybody in a striped shirt on a Friday night. But I was proud of the kids because they opened up with exactly what we wanted to do. It played a factor in the game because you always want to get points on the board. When you're on the 1 foot line, I'm going to go for the 7 before I go for the 3, unless it's just a factor in the game, a different scenario. But I thought the kids responded really well on that first drive, and it really set the tone offensively what we could do that night. You wish you could have got points, but it's football. You got to overcome and adapt sometimes.
And that's my next question about points, or about your offense rather. Their offense showed a lot of weapons. They have great playmakers and did an outstanding job. Your offense did great as well throughout the entire night, just moving the football and running it at will. Talk about that.
Yeah, Bonham they had more speed than we had faced all year long. They definitely had a couple guys when they got the ball in their hand that they were effective with it. The quarterback was very good. That number 11 was very good, and number 1 was very good. The first time we really faced a true tempo team that was up on the ball as fast as they could, which was an adjustment for us defensively. It's the old adjective in football, speed kills, and they had the speed that night. Offensively, I thought we did a great job controlling the clock, keeping them off the field as much as we could. But there's little things we got to keep fixing to get better and better each week. But I got to tip my hat to Coach Fish over Bonham. He's got some athletes, and he's utilizing them the way he needs to.
Well, every coach in Texas had a little bit more gray hair this past week. Grades came out. How did the Bulldogs do? Bulldogs
fared just fine. You're always going to lose 1 or 2 to grades. We lost 1 or 2 to grades between the JV and the varsity, but overall our kids did outstanding on their grades. When I got the report yesterday, I was very ecstatic that there wasn't a lot of football players on there. Wasn't many athletes on there in general, so we're very excited about the progress we're making as far as academics go.
We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll talk about Rains.
First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
Coach, the enrollment, sometimes that being one of the smaller, or almost the smallest Class 3A Division I team plays a role, especially on Friday nights and the second half, it seems. Rains also is going to bring a lot of kids over to their game Friday night. Talk about how much of a factor that plays.
Yeah, that's going to be a factor that we're going to battle every Friday night, especially with the teams we're playing moving forward. They're going to be 2 platooning. Rains does have a few kids to go, but starts grinding on us in the 3rd and 4th quarters. They kind of can wear us down a little bit. But, if we come out effectively and take control of the game, then that doesn't become a factor in the second half. But that's always just a battle we're going to be fighting. But Rains is a very good football team. Their record might not show it, but they are a good football team. They're not as big up front as Bonham was. They don't have the speed that Bonham had, but their kids move well. Their kids are strong. Their middle linebacker, number 5, is a very good linebacker, probably one of the best ones we're going to face this year. We're playing another spread team. So we got to make sure we're honing down on defense, what we got to accomplish to stop their attack. Offensively, it's the same old story. We got to control the clock, and we're going to grind and grind and grind. But it's going to be a battle Friday night because this is an important game for us. This is an important game for Rains. To get to the playoffs, this is a must-win for both teams. So they kind of got the advantage right now because it's a home game for them. We got to travel on a bus again for an hour and 45 minutes, which is always hard on the kids. So it's a big game Friday night. That's what I've been preaching to the kids all week. That they're going to be fired up. We need to be fired up, and we need to take care of business because without this one, our road to the playoffs gets a lot more difficult.
and you talked about Range running a spread, and each week you're facing teams that run similar type offenses. How is your scout team? Is your scout team becoming a spread offense at this point?
Yeah, our scout teams are running the spread a lot more than they're probably running our offense right now. But each spread team that we played, Bonham, Rains, and then next week Pottsboro, when you watch them on film, each one of their attacks is different. Bonham was more in the air. Rains is going to be more of a zone read team, inside zone team. They like to run the ball a whole lot more than Bonham does. And then, Pottsboro, their spread attack is just balanced. So, each week it's, you're preparing for the same offense that you're facing defensively, but their schemes are totally different. But I'm always the guy that when I watch the film, I look at their front five. I look at their front five offensively. I look at their front five.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability.
Monty.
That's right now, but each spread team that we played, Bonham, Rains, and then next week Pottsboro, when you watch them on film, each one of their attacks is different. Bonham was more in the air. Rains is going to be more of a zone read team, inside zone team. They like to run the ball a whole lot more than Bonham does. And then, Pottsboro, their spread attack is just balanced. So, each week it's, you're preparing for the same offense that you're facing defensively, but their schemes are totally different. But I'm always the guy that when I watch the film, I look at their front five. I look at their front five offensively. I look at their front five defensively, because I know if we can control the line of scrimmage, we'll be all right on game night.
What are the keys to victory?
Keys to victory this week is we got to show up and play. I mean, when you're traveling that far and it's a long bus ride, we got to show up and play. You can't come out flat. You got to come out ready to go. Offensively, we got to control the clock and make sure we're taking care of business offensively. Grinding drives, 16-play drives is what we want. Eating the clock up. Defensively, we just got to hone in on the little things, in my opinion. Making sure our secondary's solid in the coverage, and making sure we're taking care of the run. And one of the things I noticed last week is we were getting to the point of attack, but we weren't finishing tackles. And we've been emphasizing that this week in practice, is finishing tackles and everything else. So, I mean, the big thing to win on Friday night, in my opinion, is we just got to make sure we're there to play. We show up. I mean, these hour and 45, 2-hour bus rides are just a hassle. So, we just got to make sure we get ready to go the second we step off that bus. I've been really proud of our kids over the last week. They've overcome some adversity they brought on themselves. But I'm really proud about the way they've come together as a team. And, like I told them last week after the game, I couldn't be more proud of the way they played, the effort they gave. And if we give that effort each week, we're going to be just fine moving forward.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players.
Go Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Hey Bulldogs, great news. I'm your hometown realtor and I'm also a Bulldog. Hello, I'm Kevin Sarles and I'm with Exalt Realty. I wanted to tell you about the new 321 program for our new home buyers or those who haven't owned a home in 3 years. A $1,500 grant is tied to the program and a $2,000 gift card at a local major retailer is available. This promotion is for a limited time and qualifications do apply. Call me anytime, 903-821-4163.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Senior Spotlight, brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's senior.
All right, this week we're joined with seniors, Parker Blunt and Chris Garrison. Parker, let's start with you. When did you start playing football? How old were you?
I started playing football in 5th grade.
And what positions did you play back then?
In 5th and 6th grade, I was a fullback.
Did you play any defense?
Played a little bit of defense. It was tight end, or not tight end, defensive end.
So what about your coach? What do you remember, and who was your coach back then?
My coach was Darren Foster. I don't remember too much from back then. I just knew he was the coach.
So what all do you do in Howe High School right now?
I play football, I play baseball. I used to play basketball. I'm in one act.
So you had some success last year in the one act play. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I got All-Star cast and then honorable mention in the second round. Yeah, it was fun though.
So what was your role?
I was Percy.
In what play?
Monster.
And how much fun was that? I mean, was it fun being off character and not you so much, or what's the deal about it?
Yeah, it was a great experience overall. I had a lot of fun. Made a lot of new friends.
So what else about Parker Blount that people in the listening audience may not know?
I want to be a vet. I love animals. Big animal person.
Do you have a school picked out?
I do not, but I'm looking at some. Trying to go to Tarleton, but I'm not too sure about that.
How do you feel overall about your football team and football experience so far?
We're looking really good this year. Really, really good.
How's this week of practice been?
Stressful, but it's also been a really good week.
That's Parker Blount, and when we come back, we'll talk to Chris Garrison.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
So let's talk now to, I guess it's maybe the senior comedian of the class, Chris Garrison. You look like you're 35 years old. What's up?
Genetics.
So, I mean, you're covered in hair. I mean, seriously, what? Does anybody talk about that? Is anybody like, my goodness?
Everyone.
So tell me about the things that you're involved in here and how.
I'm involved in varsity football and powerlifting, and that's really it.
So you came over here from another school. Talk about that.
I came over from Tom Bean my freshman year.
Did you come with Austin Lee or before Austin Lee or what?
I came before Austin Lee in 8th grade for the first 6 weeks, and then moved back to Tom Bean and came back my freshman year.
So you're always clowning around. I mean, every time I see you, you're over there clowning with everybody. So are you just like the team jokester or what?
I just like to have fun.
So talk about the offensive line, and you've been a big part of that for not only this year but last year as well. Talk about your role and talk about the importance of the O-line.
Without the O-line, your offense really ain't going nowhere. I'm the left guard, and I do a lot of pulling.
So if you're doing a lot of pulling, you got to be quick. Is that right?
No.
No. All right, well, talk about the backs. You're on that offensive line, and your backs have had a tremendous season so far with Cameron Blesside and Austin Lee. That's got to make you proud to be one of those big hosses up front.
Yeah. When Cameron's running the ball, you want to stay out of the way, or he's going to run straight over you. And Austin, he's the same way.
We got two of the big offensive linemen here, Parker Blount, Chris Garrison. Chris, when did you start playing football?
I really don't remember. It was when I was young.
Was it in Tom Bean?
Yes, sir.
What positions did you play? Do you remember that?
I was a fullback, corner.
A corner?
And a linebacker.
Cornerback?
Yes, sir.
Did they throw the football very much back then?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I would love to see you play some corner today. You want to do that?
Maybe I can try at the game. So maybe Coach Hay will throw me in there. You know, Parker Blount got to run the ball, so I don't see why I don't get to.
There you go. All right. Well, that's been the Senior Spotlight with Parker Blount and Chris Garrison, the offensive lineman. We'll be back right after this.
To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
Welcome back to Emory Reigns, where the Bulldogs will have a challenge tonight with those Reigns Wildcats. The head coach for Howe is Bill Jailing. He's 42 years old of San Antonio, but he transferred to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as a child. Played football and baseball at Duquesne University at a bachelor's and a master's. Say that a few times. U.S. Marine Corps in 1997 through 2005. As Justin's laughing at me there. Okay. Tour in Iraq. His wife Amy and son Jackson. Overall record 11-33 at Cushing. He started 1-9, and the following year improved to 4-6. Left there, went to Hampshire Finette, went 1-9. Improved there to 2-7, and they're expected to have a better year this year of the players that he kind of brought along. And now, of course, Howe 3-2. He replaces Zach Hudson, who went to Maybank, and Raines opened their season against Maybank and won in overtime 13-7 against Coach Hudson, who went 30-28 at Howe. He was 29-19 heading into last year, although the Bulldogs went 1-9, as you know. Most playoff games and wins in school history is Zach Hudson with 8 games and 5 wins. The head coaching win leaders for Howe: Norman Dickey, 51, who coached for 12 seasons; Jim Fryer, 41, who coached for 5 seasons; Davey DeBose, 34, who coached for 5 seasons, as your Bulldogs hit the field. Not a great crowd made the trip over here. Now you hear the Wildcats making their way out. They have a victory line and all. A large advantage crowd-wise for the Raines Wildcats. Now, this is a county school. It's not a single-town school. It's not like Howe or Van Alstyne or Tom Bean. It is a county-wide school, so they draw from a large terrain of land, and they all come together and have a really nice stadium with turf and a nice official-sized track. Everything looks good over here.
This is a nice facility for a 3A school. You usually don't see the turf, and the press boxes are nice here, so a great facility here at Raines.
Caroline Slauson is at midfield walking with the captains, and she'll be inside the coin toss. And we'll go down to her in just a few minutes as the captains are shaking hands. Joseph Brennan down there is a captain. And we'll hand it over to Caroline when she's ready.
What did he say? Said heads, it's tails. So you won the toss. You want the football?
Raines won the toss.
Say yes. You want a kick? Turn your back to the scoreboard.
Raines won the toss. And they want the football because the official said, you say yes.
Yes. Okay, so now I told you wrong last week. Howe is 3-3 on coin tosses. They had received 4 of the last 5 coming in, so they kicked off. They'll be kicking off twice this season. This will be the second time they kicked off this year.
And we're just about ready for the national anthem. We'll keep it here and let you listen to that. The officials for tonight, if you were wondering who was in that coin toss, let's see. I had it a moment ago, and the official, the referee actually, is Tony Flippin. The umpire, Efren. Again, a large crowd here in Emory for their Raines Wildcats. Not a big crowd across the way for Howe. Looks somewhat like a JV crowd. I hate to admit it, but it's a very small crowd across the way.
It's a long drive from Howe to Emory. What, about an hour and a half drive?
Hour and a half drive. The band takes up a full section. Everybody else kind of scattered about. So Howe will be kicking off to start the football game. And Raines will be receiving. Now, normally they'll send back Rudd McCall. He was their quarterback a year ago, but only plays defense this year. He's a return guy. He's a punter. He kind of does it all. Judd McCall is one of the few seniors who does a lot of things here. There's 6 seniors on defense. There's only 1 senior on offense. We'll go over the starting lineup in just a moment for the offense. I'll let Justin give the starting offense for Raines once they come up with it here in just a moment, as we're just about ready for our Tech Wave kickoff. Callie Vick will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Howe is moving right to left. Conversely, the Rains Wildcats left to right from our vantage point. Howe in all white. White pants, white uniforms, black helmets. And the kick is a wobbly one, going to be taken at the 30-yard line by an up man, making a move to the near side and finally slung down at the 36-yard line. Let's go to the starting offense for the Rains Wildcats.
On the offensive line, left tackle, left and right, Anthony Wilson, Tommy House, Trevor Kuhn, Kelton Adams, and Hayden Buchanan. Quarterback is Luke Shepard. Running back is Devin Jacks. Receivers are Antonio Villegas, I believe the proper pronunciation. Yes. Mason Songer, Duke Hurley, and Colt Rivera, the other receiver for the Wildcats.
And we'll give you the starting D for the Bulldogs in just a moment. As it'll be Luke Shepard in the gun. High snap brings it down, hands off to Jacks, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Let's let you listen to our starting defense for the Howe Bulldogs.
Devin Porter, defensive end.
Dyson Dillard, nose guard.
Cameron Blesseye, defensive end.
Austin Lee, inside linebacker.
JC Opasell, inside linebacker.
Elijah Campbell, outside linebacker.
Mason Riggs, outside linebacker.
JD Thornton, cornerback.
Caden Harmon, cornerback.
Arturo Lauder, free safety.
Jalen Thornton, free safety.
On second down, Shepard, the quarterback, ran the read option and right over right tackle, good for about 6 yards, 7 yards, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 2 at the 45-yard line. Just shy of midfield, Shepard handoff to Jacks up the middle. No, he keeps it around the left edge. 1st down and more. Crosses midfield to the 45 in Howe territory to the 44-yard line.
This is about the probably about the 4th game in a row the Bulldogs have faced a spread team, but they're going to run the ball, doing a lot of zone reads this game as opposed to throwing the ball around.
Rains going no huddle here. A man in motion, and this is going to be Shepard keeping it on the read option once again. Right there is Devin Porter, the defensive end, to take him down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Devin Porter had a great game last week against Bonham, and right there able to stop Shepard in his tracks there for about a yard loss, maybe no gain.
2nd down and 10. High snap brings it down, and this time it's going to be Songer getting the hand from one side to the other. The slot receiver in motion coming from the far side to the near side will gain about 5 yards to the 40-yard line.
And they continue to try to hurry up to the ball. Bulldogs had problems this last week against Bonham.
Jordan Jones on the tackle, his first varsity action starting at safety tonight in the place of Jalen Thornton. He makes the tackle. This is going to be the 34-yard line. And a big tackle from the behind is Mason Riggs, who brings him all the way back to the 46-yard line.
Welcome back, Mason Riggs. Handoff there to Elijah Garrett Ennis. A little run around the left tackle, and Mason Riggs sniffed that out from the beginning, dropping back for a big loss.
7-yard loss will set up the punt team on 4th and about 12. And we'll see who's back to return as Jalen Thornton is out, and it's Arturo Lauder who will stand at about his own 12-yard line. The punt by McCall is a wobbly off the side of his foot, high, and it's going to bounce at about the 33 and take a Bulldog bounce all the way back to the 42-yard line. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 3-yard punt.
Gosh, that was a huge bounce there. That took about a 7 or 8 yard bounce forward in the Bulldog direction. So Bulldogs have great field position at their own 43-yard line.
9:17 remaining in quarter number 1, and Howe's going to have the ball from their own 43-yard line.
So I think the Bulldogs need to come out here, set the tone, and finish the drive. They had a long drive last week, got to the 1-yard line, couldn't score. They need to establish the tone here and put up points on the board first.
16 plays a week ago. Spencer Akins goes in motion, handoff to Blesseye over right guard. He's going to get maybe a yard before he's met and slung backwards, but forward progress will set up 2nd down and 9.
Cameron Blesseye, who had last week 20 carries for 172 yards, a season high. He had a season high in rushes, and I believe that 77-yard touchdown he had run last week was a season high.
2nd and 9. Clock rolling at 8:49 here in quarter number 1. Joseph Brennan in motion, and somebody moved a little early. I think whistles. I can hear whistles, but I didn't see any flags.
I didn't either.
Let's check down with Caroline Slauson with our Night Furniture sideline report. Caroline, did you see anything down there?
No, I didn't set flag, and I was looking around for it. I did not see it at all.
So it's 3rd down and 9, and Austin Lee on the carry there, so apparently no whistle, no flag. Here's a toss, near side. Arturo Louder looking for a block, can't get it. He's drugged and slammed down hard by the outside linebacker, Frank Kleinmeyer, and that'll set up a punt situation for the Howe Bulldogs. And doing the punting tonight, we're told, is going to be Elijah Campbell, as Jalen Thornton usually does the punting for Howe.
Louder trying to get around the pitch out to that left side there, and the strong point of this Wildcats defense is this linebacker core.
So a shotgun for Krantz on 4th and 12.
Maybe
and now he's going to back up, and maybe Krantz is going to punt. It appears like Krantz is going to punt. And he does. It's a high, wobbly kick down to about the 27-yard line for Howe. And here's the officials. You know how they do. They go out to about the 19. Oh, that's a pretty good walk. Normally the officials will walk down, then they'll take a walk about 30 yards back. And if you're a punter, you hate that walk. But they got a pretty good walk right there. And they'll spot the ball at about the 27-yard line, Raines deep in their own territory.
Second possession here for Raines. They had a couple of positive runs, mostly with their quarterback with Shepard. And so see if the Bulldogs will try to zero in on him and keep the damage minimal.
1st down and 10 for Raines, moving left to right, man in motion, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Jax. He bounces out of one tackle, good for maybe a couple, close to the 30-yard line as J.C. Helpenstill brings him down at the 29.
J.C. Helpenstill in that middle linebacker position, sitting there waiting for the running back to come into his open arms.
Helpenstill, a multi-year starter for the Dogs. Here is Shepard wanting to roll out right, throws it, and it's going to be caught down the sidelines. Goes the receiver, Hurley, who makes the catch. Going to be close to a 1st down, and it is near the 38-yard line.
He was running to the right side like it was an option, but there was just a receiver there on that far side, and when he was approached by a Bulldog lineman, he threw it over to the left side there, or the right side of the receiver.
Ball at the 39, handoff to Jax up the middle, Met up the middle, Hard up the middle. And that's going to be Alex Kellum on the stop, the defensive end on the other side of Devin Porter. So a nice play there, sets up 2nd down and long, about maybe a half-yard loss.
Alex Kellum, I believe, in there. Is he in there for Cameron Blesseye? Maybe I don't see Blesseye on the deal.
Yes, that is correct. Shepard, handoff, or he's going to keep it. He's in jail. He bounces out. Now he's going to be brought down by Mason Riggs and Devin Porter after maybe about a 4.5-yard gain, close to about the 42-yard line shy of midfield.
Porter staying busy on this defensive line, getting a lot of work in here early.
3rd down and about 7 for Raines. Shotgun, Shepard rolling out right. Under pressure, he's going to tuck it. He's got some room. Maybe a 1st down, very close. I think he has it at midfield. They're going to roll the clock as he stayed in bounds. He was tackled by Dyson Dillard near the out-of-bounds mark here on the near side, but he picks up enough for the 1st down. That'll move the sticks at midfield.
They don't throw the ball a lot, and they're using the strength of Raines with Shepard and running the ball.
Man in motion is Hurley, and he gets the carry from near side to far. He's going to gain 3 yards into Howe territory at the 47-yard line, brought down by Jordan Jones.
They got the jet sweep on the left side there, and they're trying to run a little bit of a hurry-up offense, keep this Bulldog defense napping.
Jones playing a deep safety and now moves over to the near side. And this is going to be a handoff to Jax, but a flag down right behind the line of scrimmage. The back judge threw it, and that's Jared Hood. And that'll be a legal procedure against the Raines Wildcats. They'll move that back 5 yards. And if you're the Bulldogs, that's a pretty good break.
Yeah, sometimes when you're trying to go fast, you go a little too fast.
And one thing it does is gives you a little breather. The defense is having to run out there pretty quickly right now.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 11. 5:36 on the 1st quarter clock. Shepard in the gun, and Jax stands right behind him. And this will be a handoff to Jax over right tackle. A lot of room for a moment, but it closed pretty quickly, as I believe that is Helpenstill again. No, it's not. It's Chris Garrison in there. And Alex Kellum.
Jax, the 2nd leading rusher on this team, 61 carries for 238 yards, averaging 60 a game for the Wildcats.
Third down and about 6.5. Shepard rolling out near side. He wants to tuck it again. Same play as a moment ago to pick up the first down, and he does it again to the Howe 36-yard line.
The Bulldogs last week had trouble containing Tyler Rodriguez, the quarterback for Bonham, using his legs. They're having a little problems with Shepard tonight as well.
They're going to try to snap it very quickly as Howe's trying to run players in and out. Here's Jax up the middle. He's good for 11, maybe 12 yards to the 23-yard line.
Get your keys out. This Wildcat offense is starting to get a drive here.
Jordan Jones saved the touchdown. Hurry up offense. Handoff up the middle. Big hole. Jordan Jones having to make every tackle for the Howe Bulldogs. And that was a handoff to the big running back, Elijah Garrett Enos. They'll hand it to him again at the 5, plowing his way toward the 3-yard line. Man alive.
And this is again, fast-paced offense here. Bulldogs had trouble with this last week against Bonham. 2 runs open up, big holes open up right up the middle for Wildcats.
Boy, they are in hurry-up mode, trying to catch the Bulldogs, swapping players in and out. Here is a fake in the hand. Shepard's going to try to roll it in around the left edge. He does. Touchdown Reigns. 4:18 on the clock. They fake it to the last 2 plays that they did a moment ago. Elijah Garrett Enos, and they faked it to him and rolled around the left edge. Shepard for the score, 6-0. Reigns on top early.
Faked it to Garrett Enos. He'd had some success on this drive. You had to respect him, but Shepard kept it and walked in the end zone.
The extra point is up, it's high, and it is good. 7-0. Reigns in the lead. 4:18 rather on the clock. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
If you're looking for a welding company that will always meet your expectations, we are just the team you need. Robertson Welding Service can do industrial, commercial, or domestic. Robertson Welding Service guarantees the quality and satisfaction of your project at a fair price. We provide precision, custom, and repair service in all steels. We even weld aluminum and stainless. You can be comfortable that Robertson Welding Service is the right company for your project. We can be found on Facebook, or you can call us at 903-328-6588. That's 903-328-6588.
Your Exalt Realty scoring drive recap, 13 plays for Reigns, 73 yards. It was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Luke Shepard. And that brings our new score 7-0. The drive took 3 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock. And here's our Tech Wave kickoff, going to be banged in the air. And it's going to take one hop straight to Arturo Louder, who's going to go straight up the middle, looking for a seam. Gets through a seam for a moment and then brought down at about the 32-yard line. 4:11 on the clock. That was Caden Harmon, rather, on the return. Our spotter, Stephen Braswell, has his binoculars out. Thank goodness, because I'm Mr. Magoo.
I tell you what, Bulldogs need a methodical drive. They need some points. They need to give their defense a rest after that fast-paced possession by Reigns.
Without question. Elijah Campbell comes near side, split out wide. Man in motion and a fumbled snap. Elvington says, I think they have it. The Reigns coaches say that they have it. Elvington has the football. But was there a penalty that happened before? Was there a whistle before the play? And now the officials are talking to Reigns head coach Randy Barnes on the near side. And now they're pointing up here at the press box about something. Roger Tidwell is not up here.
I'm leaving that one alone.
Oh, Roger, we love you. Second down and 11, 1-yard loss.
You'd think after 4 games here, the last 4 games, the Bulldogs would have cleaned up that center snap quarterback exchange, but they continue to have problems with that.
2 men in the backfield. Elvington's going to toss near side, and getting out quickly around the left edge was the running back, Austin Lee, and he'll gain about 5. It looked like he cut his blocker off and went on the inside of him instead of staying on the outside, but he still picked up 5 yards.
Austin Lee has struggled the last 2 games, only 20 carries for 55 yards against Bonham and Boyd. Blessed Eye's been carrying a lot of the load. They need to get some yardage from Lee, get him take some work off Blessed Eye.
Blessed Eye into the game, 20 carries, over 170 yards a week ago against Bonham. It's 3rd down and 6 for Howe. 2 men in the backfield, 3 men in the backfield. Toss near side. Arturo Louder in jail, trapped behind the line of scrimmage and slung down at the 30-yard line. A loss of at least 3. And that's a loss of more than that, all the way back to the 32-yard line. And that'll be the outside backer again, Frank Kleinmeyer on the stop.
Kleinmeyer with the second tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and Louder, but really couldn't even get going there on that pitch out. And they had him left to right.
Punt time again. Krantz in the gun will step back about 3 steps. On 4th down and 12. It's a high snap. It goes over Krantz's head. He darts back to the 10-yard line and falls on it at the 8. And Raines is in great shape, starting at their Howe 8-yard line on this next possession. 2:37 on the clock.
You know, it's one thing if you're going to get beat by a team, but when you start beating yourself, you know, good things cannot happen right there. And that's ball goes over the head of Krantz. He recovers it back on the Wildcats 8-yard line. Wildcats were able to move the ball down the field on the last possession. So Bulldogs are really behind the 8 ball right now.
Well, here they come in their hurry-up offense from the 8-yard line of Howe, trying to punch it in that end zone to our right. Shotgun for Shepard. Hands off to Jack. Straight up the middle. Shepard actually keeps it around the left edge. Another read option and another touchdown around the left edge for Shepard. His second of the night. And that extends Raines' lead 13-0 with 2:32 in quarter number 1.
Almost the same exact play. Faked it to the running back. Kept it. Went around that left side. Just walked into the end zone for a touchdown. Raines does exactly what teams should do. They got a turnover. Got good field position and capitalized on it.
PAT is high. It looks straight down the middle, and it is. So Raines takes a 14-0 lead here in the quarter number 1. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Monty, that was Damius Karowski on the tackle. Hey, this is Michael Mosier. I may not be up in that luxury outdoor suite on top of the press box, but hey, I'm still supporting the Bulldogs. I'm proud to be a part of the Howe Athletic Booster Club, where it's only $25 to become a member. I may have retired from pronouncing those difficult names on Friday nights, but I can say go Dogs without batting an eye. Become a black and white, towel-waving Bulldog fan by signing up at each home game behind the home bleachers, and remember, Aljundo Dakenstater on the stop.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
One play, 8 yards for the Exalt Realty scoring drive recap. Took 5 seconds off the clock, extended Raines' lead. 14-0 after Shepard's second rushing touchdown of the evening from his quarterback position. Here's the Tech Wave kickoff, going to be taken by Arturo Louder. Takes it at about the 15-yard line on the near side, runs all the way to the far sideline to the far hash, and is knocked down after maybe a couple of yards to the 18-yard line, and he gets up limping. I don't know if it's an ankle or what, but he is walking off or limping off the side under his own power. But Howe will start at their own 19-yard line.
Louder, you can't afford to lose him not only as a running back, but as a safety as well.
And a punt returner and a kick returner. And 2:26 on the clock here in quarter number 1. Elijah Campbell split out wide to the near side. And this will be a handoff straight up the middle. Blessed Eye spins out of a tackle. Look out. He's got the 30. It's a foot race at the 50, 45. He's got speed to the 30, 25, and knocked down at about the 24-yard line. There's a flag down at the 40 on the near side. We'll have to check that, but at the moment, it's a great run by Blessed Eye to spin out of a tackle for a big gain.
Yeah, Blessed Eye again, we've talked about before with his running style, you're going to have to bring your hard hat when you tackle him, and they just couldn't wrap up, and he was able to spin out of one and get a long run, but looks like that flag is going to be on Howe.
It's a holding call against Howe. Now it's a spot foul,
so
it won't go all the way back, but they'll spot it from apparently the infraction happened at the 38-yard line. Yeah, our spotter, Stephen Braswell, tells us it was on the opposite side of the field on the near side. So bring that one back close to midfield at the 48-yard line on the side of Raines. So still a first down and a big run, but not quite as big as it was a moment ago. 2 men in the backfield, man in motion now. This will be a handoff straight up the middle, and that's Austin Lee fighting, and he got maybe a yard to the 47 of Raines.
Again, Austin Lee, we need to get him going. Hal needs to get him going in this ball game here. But at least the Bulldogs got a first down. They hadn't had a first down these first two possessions. So build off that momentum and see if they can get in their groove and do what they usually do.
2nd down and 9 coming up. You know, you almost need like a tackle trap coming across from one side to the other. We'll see what the Bulldogs pull out of the bottom of the cooler right here on 2nd down and 9. As we're nearing the end of the first quarter. Stacked backfield, man in motion, Caden Harmon from one side to the other. Cuts it up. He's got a little bit of room and will fall forward for maybe 3 yards to the 43-yard line of Raines. And now we're in an interesting situation.
Well, you called it. It was a trap to that right side, got around the corner, and puts him now on a third. And what's that going to be, about a 6? Third, 7?
Yeah, about third, 5.5, 6 yards here. 50 seconds on the first quarter clock, and it's rolling. We'll have to snap it as the play clock's at 14. 2 wings here and 1 fullback. Wing goes in motion as Joseph Brennan. Handoff straight up the middle. Blesseye banging, and I think he's going to be close. Actually, that's Austin Lee running behind his shoulder pads for a couple yards just outside of the 40-yard line.
Now the question is this 4-down territory here for the Bulldogs?
I think it has to be.
You're down 14-0. Ball is on the Raines 40-yard line. You've got a little momentum going here.
You know, you just snapped it over your punter's head a moment ago, so nothing is guaranteed. I think it's your odds of gaining 3 yards right here may be better than pinning them deep. That's the last of the first quarter as the clock expires, and we'll come back right after this and have the second quarter action.
First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
Big play early right here in the game. 4th down and 3. 2.5 perhaps. Howe going for it. Elvington under center. And a right tackle jumps off sides. So what would have been an attempt at 4th and 2 will now.
That may be a punt now.
It may turn into a punt. You know what just happened. Howe was trying to go on a different snap count and try to lure Raines off sides. It backfired. Howe jumped off sides.
And Coach Jay is out to the numbers. He's pretty upset right now.
Let's talk with our Night Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson. What's the mood down there?
Not very good, guys. That's putting it lightly. Coach Jay is not very happy right now during this timeout. And like you said, unfortunately, there's just not a lot of Howe fans that made the trip, so it's pretty quiet over here.
It's unfortunate. You know, you love that we were able to bring this broadcast back to the people of Howe so that they can stay home and listen if they need to, but you'd love that support out here. And, you know, these kids really need the fans. They really need the packed house. It's been it's been kind of slim on these road trips.
We kind of like to have it both ways, have a bunch of fans come out and listen to the broadcast inside the stadium.
That'd be great. 101.7 inside the stadium right now. 4th down and now long, and Elvington is in the game. So what's going to take place here? Elijah Campbell split out wide. Are they still going to go for it? It appears that they are. At the 46-yard line, and Elvington is slammed down hard by the linebacker, Garrett Enos, and he came on a blitz straight up the middle. Elvington had no chance.
I mean, it was almost like he knew the snap count because he came through. I mean, as soon as the ball moved into Elvington's hands, here comes Garrett Ennis blasting through the line and taking Elvington down behind the line of scrimmage. Elvington didn't have a chance to do anything. Run for it, pass it, hand it off. Not a chance for anything.
That was not great execution by the Bulldogs. There's a high snap. Shepard brings it down. He's on the run. Chased down by Riggs. Throws it out of bounds. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up as the Raines Wildcats started just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Sometimes the ball bounces your way and sometimes it bounces the other team's way. That time it bounced theirs and went right, the high snap went right back in his hands.
Yeah, so far they're getting a lot of the breaks.
2nd down and 10, now moving right to left. Another high snap. Shepard wants to throw. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Running out to the right side, being chased down by J.D. Thornton. And he'll round the edge to the 44-yard line, shy of the first down by about 4 yards.
Man, another high snap, kind of fumbled it, almost had trouble with the read option there, and the Shepard able to make something out of nothing.
Ball at the 45, shotgun handoff, jacks up the middle, big hole, rammed over a Howe defender, which was J.C. Helpenstiel. They butted heads. Helpenstiel went down, and Jacks fell forward for a 5-yard gain at the 40.
Jack looked like Cameron Blesseye coming through that line, just surged over Helpenstiel.
Another quick snap, Jack's right guard this time, good for 2 or 3 yards to the 37-yard line.
This is going to be an important possession for the Bulldogs here. I mean, it's 2nd quarter, 11 minutes to go here. You got a lot of time left, but they score here. You're down 3 touchdowns here, and you don't have a quick strike type of offense here.
And they are sprinting to the line of scrimmage, and they're running as many plays as they can. Man in motion. This is going to be a handoff. Nope, a read option again, and this time Riggs has it, and a lateral pass, which could be a fumble, and the officials say incomplete. That was very close to a lateral.
I thought that was a lateral.
We watched the film from last week when Bonham's quarterback crossed the line of scrimmage and threw a pass across the line of scrimmage, and there was no call. It ended up being a huge moment in the game. And this time, what looked like a lateral was ruled an incomplete pass.
And Shepard was wrapped up, I believe, by Riggs. He probably should have ate that and just gone down. But again, another bounce by the Wildcats.
3rd down and 7. Shepard looking to pass, rolling out near side, throwing, and his man is incomplete. Trying to find his receiver, Duke Hurley, the slot receiver, and it'll bring up a 4th down 7. And we'll see what the Wildcats do right here. A nice job of Howe holding them to a 4th down, but they may have to hold them again. As checking into the game is the big running back, senior Garrett Enos.
Yeah, they're going to go for this.
4th down and 7, and they will go for it. Enos checks in at fullback position. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far. Shepard rolls out near side, gets a block, and now he's going to tuck it, and he's going to be escaping tackles close to the first down. But right there is Cameron Blesseye. It's going to be close, and it may be short, and it's I can't tell.
Ball goes back over to the Bulldogs.
So they're going to turn it over for sure. Never been a call.
He rolled out, was looking for a receiver, decided to tuck it and run. Good job by Dyson Dillard. He came off his block and wasn't able to bring him down cleanly, but able to slow him down just enough for Blesseye to finish him off before he got to the first down marker.
I never saw a true signal from the officials that turned it away, but our spotter, Stephen Braswell, says it was short by about a yard. So 1st and 10 for Howe. Great job by Howe's defense to turn it back. Left to right now go the Bulldogs in all white. Raines in all blue. And this will be a handoff over right guard. Not much doing there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage to the 31-yard line.
The offense for Raines, word on the scout report on them was that they struggle moving the ball. They've been able to do that. Defensively, that's their strong point right there, and they're getting confidence here in stopping this Bulldog offense.
Blessai, Brennan, and Caden Harmon into the game in the backfield. Elvington, quarterback, gets the call. Exactly 10 minutes on the clock here in the second quarter. Howe trails 14-0. They walk to the line of scrimmage from huddle. 2 slots and 1 wide. And this will be Harmon brought down from behind on the, not a reverse, but the trap from one side to the other. And the stop was made. Well, I have to see. I guess that was Donovan Throneberry. The stop. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
That was a slow developing play there for Harmon. And who'd you say made the tackle there?
Throneberry.
Throneberry with the tackle there, yeah. So run back behind the line of scrimmage. So again, Bulldogs are in a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, ball back to the 29-yard line. 3rd and 12 coming up. 9:26 and rolling here in the second quarter. Bulldogs need a big play. Shotgun for Krantz. 2 receivers far side. Krantz looks like he's going to run, and he's met back deep in the backfield, and that's going to be a huge loss. Back to the 24-yard line. Give it a 5-yard loss, and thankfully it wasn't more than that for Bulldog fans.
Yeah, Krantz got in the shotgun, was a quarterback keeper going around that left side, and he didn't have a chance. Gets dropped back for a bigger loss, and Bulldogs just continue to go backwards.
Yeah, it's going to be, you would think, punt time here. 4th and 17. As, again, we were told that Elijah Campbell would be doing the punting tonight. They're not, but it's been Bryce Krantz so far. He'll drop back in the gun here. A high snap, he brings it down, punts this one away. It's a wobbly kick, not a great kick. Bounces up to 42. Is going to be taken on the near side, straight up the field by McCall, and a great return because the ball went on the near side. There was no one on the near side to stop him. About a 30-yard return all the way back to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, the one off the side of the foot there, and McCall caught it on the bounce. Yeah, nobody was down there to cover him with it about 10 yards. So he had about a 10 to 12-yard head start on that return and brings it deep into Bulldog territory at the 24-yard line.
A net punt of 0. 1st and 10, right to left. The Wildcats in all blue. And Shepard's going to hand off to Jacks over right guard. No, he keeps it again. He's got a great play fake, but he didn't fake out Mason Riggs around that edge, and he's brought down for a loss of about 2 back to the 26-yard line.
Mason Riggs had his eyes on Shepard that whole time, waiting for him to come around that corner and able to bring him down. Comes up with a big fist pump.
I tell you what, I'm not a big fan of the read option. I just can't stand watching the read option every week, but there's a reason they do it. This is going to be a handoff up the middle, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage was Jackson. The ball may have come out, but apparently the Rains Wildcats were able to fall back on it. It'll be 3rd down and 12 coming up.
They don't. We said earlier, Rains doesn't throw the ball a lot. They spread out, but they do a lot of the read option.
Timeout's been called on the field. We'll take 1-2 back in a moment right after this.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players.
Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Looking to purchase a home? Michelle Castle and the team at Guild Mortgage Sherman are excited to announce 321 Home, our new exclusive program that gives first-time home buyers a $2,000 gift card to Home Depot and $1,500 towards closing costs. For more information, call us at 903-957-3100. That's 903-957-3100. Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Company NMLS number 3274.
3rd down and 12, and whistles blow before this one gets underway. Illegal procedure against Rains will back them up. Instead of 3rd and 12, it'll be 3rd and 17, which will create some space for the Rains Wildcats.
Put them in a long situation. Like I said, they don't throw the ball very often, but they may have to see what the arm of Luke Shepard has here.
Well, in the previous games, they've thrown the ball a lot, but not tonight. This is going to be Shepard in trouble behind the line, spins out of a tackle somehow, and runs over a defender at the 29-yard line.
How did he get out of that?
I have no idea.
He faked it to his left. His running back was on his right. He was in there in jail. Bulldogs had him right to left, and somehow he spun out of that and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Make it a 3-yard gain as Elijah Campbell makes the stop to the 29, actually a 2-yard gain by Shepard. It should have been about a 5-yard loss. So this will be a field goal attempt by Andrew Balthrop. It'll be 44, and it's a fake. Shepard throwing it down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. No receiver anywhere in the area. It might have even been a bad snap, and he just decided to take it and run with it. But anyhow, it's unsuccessful, and Raines holds to their 14-0 lead with 7:02 left to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that was a bad snap there, and Shepard, again, just threw it away. So Bulldogs have held on the last 2 possessions. And again, they have an opportunity to at least go down and score and make this a one-possession ball game. Still down 14-0, 7:02 to go in the first half.
I believe that would have been a 44-yard attempt. Is that right? Apparently that is right. So Howe takes over the football at their own 29-yard line with 7:02 on the clock and need to score on this possession. 2 men in the backfield. Man in motion is Louder, and Elvington's going to toss to Cameron Blesside, trying to find the far corner around the edge, and he's going to gain maybe a couple to the 30-yard line thereabouts. If it's the 30, it's 1. If it's the 31, it's 2, and they'll spot it at the 30.
The Bulldogs usually try to start on their interior offensive line, see what they get going there. Haven't been able to do that. Really have had a hard time getting around the edges as well. Blesside had to fight for that 1 yard.
I have a feeling you're going to see the pass of the night right here on this play. I just feel it. 2nd down and 9, 6:54 on the clock. 2 receivers near side. Austin Lee split out with Waldrop. This is going to be Elvington throwing it, and it's going to be caught out of the backfield by Harmon. He makes a move, escapes up to the 34-yard line, gain of about 3 or 4, close to the 35.
Well,
I told you.
It's the only pass of the night so far. It was a little swing pass there in the flats, and Harmon got a little bit of yards there, makes it a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
So the ball in between the 34 and the 35-yard line. 6:25 and rolling here in quarter number 2. Cameron Blesside coming back on the field to bring in the play to Leighton Elvington.
I think you still try to get Blesside around the edges. Use him on the pitch outs.
Traditional wing T set. Louder in motion. Toss left side. Blesside trying to find that corner. Does have the corner. And it's going to be close to a 1st down. And he has it. They'll move the sticks at the 41-yard line.
Coach McCormick must be listening to the broadcast here. It was a pitch out to the left side. Blesside lowered his shoulder and got the extra yard for a 1st down.
They'll spot it at the 40. So now, checking into the game typically right here is Austin Lee, and he will. 5:55 on the clock. Bulldogs desperately need points. They walk to the line of scrimmage. Wing T look. Left to right goes Howe, and all white. Toss near side. Lee cuts it up. No, that's Joseph Brennan who cuts it up. And he spins out of a tackle to the 50 inside Raines territory at the 46-yard line. A great run by Joseph Brennan, who kept his feet moving. Would have been about a 5-yard gain, turned it into a 12-yard gain.
I tell you what, I hope that maybe can spark this offense for Howe. Yeah, Brennan with a hard-fought run, broke a couple of tackles, twisted out of another one, and into Raines territory now.
I don't know how he did all of that spinning and twisting with both hands on the ball like he did, but he did. 1st and 10, left to right. Howe comes back to the line of scrimmage. Wing T look. Louder's the wing. And this will be a toss. Spencer Akins gets the carry. He cuts it up, and he falls forward back to the line of scrimmage. He just slipped on that far hash. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10. We'll check down with Caroline Slauson in a moment to kind of figure out if any momentum's coming back to that sideline. While they're switching out, Caroline, what do you think?
Yeah, guys, I actually think I'm feeling a little momentum with Akins just running the ball. The cheerleaders going. I think here it is.
All right, we're going to score on this position, says
so.
Caroline. 2nd down and 10.
But don't be mad if we don't.
And this will be a toss. This is the halfback pass. Mason Riggs throwing it down the field. It's going to be caught by Elijah Campbell at the 10, at the 5. He's in. It's touchdown time in Texas.
Some trickery by Coach McCormick, the offensive coordinator. Pitch it to Blesseye. We get to see the arm of Cameron Blesseye, his first touchdown pass of the season, the second touchdown catch for Elijah Campbell, second game in a row.
46 yards on the halfback pass. And Callie Vick on for the PAT. Elijah Campbell to hold.
Wow, the Bulldogs needed that one.
A big play right there. Callie Vick's kick is up. It is high enough, and it is good enough. 14-7. The Bulldogs needed that desperately. We'll be back right after this timeout. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
Welcome back as the Bulldogs have just scored for the first time tonight. The Exalt Realty scoring drive recap, 6 plays, 71 yards. Brings our new score 14-7. It took about 2.5 minutes off the clock, and it was a halfback pass from Mason Riggs to Elijah Campbell. And our Tech Wave kickoff is in the air. It's going to be taken at the 25-yard line. Coming from the far hash is Hurley, and he'll bring it up near the 40. And we'll see where they spot it to start Rain's next possession. It's going to be, I think, right at the 40.
My mistake on there. I thought that was Cameron Blesseye threw that pass. That was Mason, as you said, Mason Riggs throwing that touchdown pass. Good, and Mason Riggs had some nice touch on that. Put it right there in the arms of Campbell.
Riggs played quarterback a little bit his sophomore year on varsity with the injury of, Brandon Wall. Yes, handoff up the middle is Jax, and he'll get close to the 44-yard line. Thank you, Stephen Braswell, for getting me out of that brain mix-up. Brandon Wall was the name I was searching for, and it came out. Thank you. 4:13 on the clock.
And Rains comes to the line quickly again. They're moving.
Handoff, Jax again, straight up the middle, and he'll carry Mason Riggs with him for a yard or two. Or is that Lee? That's Austin Lee. A couple of yards on the carry to the 46, 47. We'll spot it at the 47, so give him 3 yards. 3:50 on the clock here before half. It's homecoming, so they'll have festivities, I'm presuming. Shepard is going to keep it around the right edge. He's in trouble. Now he escapes, and he's got speed. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown Rains. He was in jail behind the line of scrimmage. 3 Bulldogs around him. He squirted free for the 53-yard touchdown.
They had him back there in the backfield. I mean, just about as close as you can get to a tackle, and he was able to twist out of it, squeeze out of a couple arm tackles, and able to off to the races. And that was on 3rd down. Bulldogs almost had him.
Balthrop's kick is up and true. And just like that, the Rains Wildcats take momentum back from Howe and extend the lead 21-7. Back in a moment, right after this timeout.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
If you're looking for a welding company that will always meet your expectations, we are just the team you need. Robertson Welding Service can do industrial, commercial, or domestic. Robertson Welding Service guarantees the quality and satisfaction of your project at a fair price. We provide precision, custom, and repair service in all steels. We even weld aluminum and stainless. You can be comfortable that Robertson Welding Service is the right company for your project. We can be found on Facebook, or you can call us at 903-328-6588. That's 903-328-6588.
Balthrop's Tech Wave kickoff is going to bounce at the 2, and it's going to have to be picked up, and it is, and knocked down inside the 5-yard line is Bryce Krantz at about the 3, and now a late flag comes down at the 5-yard line.
Bryce Krantz had trouble picking it up there at the 5-yard line, and was he didn't seem like he was in a big hurry. And as soon as he picked it up, they popped him at the 5-yard line. And what if the foul's going to be, or the flag's going to be a personal foul?
Well, the ball bounced at the 2, and Krantz just kind of loafed over to it with Raines breathing down his neck. When he picked it up, he was popped. So apparently a holding call against Raines will move the ball out to the 15-yard line, and that's where Howe will start.
That is a lucky break for the Bulldogs.
Scoring drive recap. The Exalt Realty scoring drive recap was 3 plays, 61 yards for Raines. It took exactly a minute off the clock, and it was a 53-yard touchdown by Shepard to give us our new 21-7 score. Shotgun, Krantz stays in the game. He's going to try to run it around the left edge. Actually, it's a reverse to Louder, who has some room, a lot of room, up to the 40-yard line. A big run by Anthony Louder.
I tell you what, Louder with probably one of his best runs of the season there, and he broke a couple of tackles there on that long run.
25-yard gain, 26-yard gain as they spotted at the 41-yard line. And Louder, I guess your ankle's okay, young man.
Right.
First down and 10, left to right, 2:56 and rolling on the clock. Howe needs to score again to stay in pace. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Krantz in the gun. He's going to run to the left side, and he'll lower his shoulder and get 1 yard. He kind of looked hesitant as he saw the Wildcats pinning their ears back around that edge, and he kind of slowly moved into it, running behind his pads, and he's knocked down after about a 1 yard gain at the 42-yard line.
Well, last time he ran that to that left side, he got swollen up in the backfield, gained a yard there. But yeah, you got those linebackers we talked about with Garrett Ellis and Hinch and Kleinmeyer, McCall. That's the strength of this team. They're hitting hard out there.
Still in the gun. Austin Lee back there with him. This is going to be a handoff to Mason Riggs coming near side. He's got the 40, trying to dodge a tackle and falls forward for a yard or two up to the 44-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd and long for Howe.
Timeout called by Raines.
We're going to take one, too. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Monty, that was Damius Karowski on the tackle. Hey, this is Michael Mosier. I may not be up in that luxury outdoor suite on top of the press box, but hey, I'm still supporting the Bulldogs. I'm proud to be a part of the Howe Athletic Booster Club, where it's only $25 to become a member. I may have retired from pronouncing those difficult names on Friday nights, but I can say go Dogs without batting an eye. Become a black and white, towel-waving Bulldog fan by signing up at each home game behind the home bleachers, and remember, Aljundo Dakenstater on the stop.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas.
3rd down and 6, and hit right in the backfield. Nothing doing there. As Raines says they have the ball, and they have. They've taken it away from Howe. It was a handoff to Riggs, and it was just stripped right out of his hands. They took it away. 1st down and 10. Raines now moving right to left at the Howe 40.
Gave it to Riggs, and I think that was Elijah Garrett Ellis again, the Ennis, the middle linebacker there for the Wildcats. As soon as Riggs had the ball, Garrett Ennis met him at the line there and just kind of took the ball away from him.
He is a great player. Ennis is Garrett Ennis. He is a large young man as well. 1st and 10, man in motion, handoff Jacks right up the middle, and he's met by Dyson Dillard, but he can't hang on as Jacks keeps his feet moving and moves for about 8 yards to the 33-yard line.
And they're going fast again.
Jordan Jones on the stop again. Shepard hands off this time from one side to the other, and that's going to be Songer trying to find the right corner and does, but he's tripped up out of bounds after a first down run to about the 20-yard line.
During the coach's show, Coach Jay talked about one of the things that he wanted to work on keys of the game was tackling, clean tackles. They've missed several tackles here tonight, the Bulldogs have.
They'll spot it at the 21, 1st and 10. Raines trying to punch it in right before the half. Shotgun, handoff. And this is Ennis brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Elijah Campbell. No flag. He had what looked like could have been a face mask or a horse collar. No call. It apparently was clean. About a 3-yard loss back to the 24-yard line.
Campbell knifing through, got him by the head. Almost, I thought it was going to be a face mask too. No call.
Handoff up the middle, Garrett Ennis. He carries a big load and he fumbles the ball, but he jumps back on it at the 21.
And now we got a timeout called by Raines.
We'll take 1-2 right back right after this timeout.
First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
We'll see what head coach Randy Barnes has up his sleeve here for Raines as they're facing a 3rd down and 11 with 1:19 left on the second quarter clock. Up 21-7. They've moved the ball at will very quickly in a fast-paced offense, and we'll see what they do here. 3rd and 11. Shepard sends a man in motion. They'll fake it to him. Hand it off. Jacks right up the middle over right guard. He spins forward close to about 8 yards. And not enough for a first, but about the 9-yard line is where they'll spot him. And we'll see if that's enough to set up a 4th and short.
Yeah, just to draw up the middle here. It'll be interesting to see. They have a field goal kicker. They attempted a field goal earlier, but it was a botched snap.
I'll take that back. The 13-yard line. Shepard wants to throw in the end zone, and it is incomplete. A nice play out there, trying to find Rivera into the end zone. But a nice play by J.D. Thornton to break it up. And that was 4th down. However, let's see, we got a flag against Howe. It's offsides. That'll give Raines a first down.
That was a free play because they got the Bulldogs to jump offsides and then just try to go downfield there with Villegas, and incomplete. But, yeah, got the first down because of the offside penalty.
So now it's 1st and goal from the 9. And Shepard says something to his running back. Jack's right behind him. He hands off to him, right guard, and he's brought down at about the 6-yard line. So 2nd and goal from the 6 coming up. 37 seconds on the clock.
And they've got no timeouts.
Raines hurrying up, trying to get things set. Shepard sends a man in motion, and he's going to try to run around the left edge, and he is brought down right at the 5-yard line. Again, no timeouts. 21 seconds, and now an injured Shepard is down at the 5.
He took a pretty good hit. I believe number 80, Stephen Waldrop, hit him pretty good.
They're going to spot it at the 4 and another pseudo timeout.
Looks like they're going to go.
But Shepard will have to stay out of the game here, but although they're going to try to kick the field goal with Balthrop. It's a 20-yarder, basically a PAT. The snap is back. It's on the tee. The kick is up. The kick is high. And the kick is good. So Raines extends their lead. They get a pseudo timeout with the injury. And that gives them a chance to set everything up to kick the field goal. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrEdInsurance.com.
all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players.
Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Our Exalt Realty scoring drive recap. 7 plays, 36 yards by Raines. It took a minute 51 off the clock, and it was a 20-yard field goal by Balthrop to extend the lead. There's the Tech Wave kickoff goes out of bounds, and a flag is down at the 32, which could be, it's going to be okay. The flag is for the out of bounds. Okay. There was the flag happened to be thrown right at a hit that was around Leighton Elvington and a Raines Wildcat, but apparently the flag is just for the kick out of bounds.
I believe so.
I thought there was going to be some kind of personal foul after when I looked up, both kids were flying around.
And I guess they're going to make them re-kick this.
Yeah, with 4 seconds on the clock, you're going to have to.
Of course, Raines is on one end and Howe is on the other. Howe's huddled up like they're ready to run their offense out.
Well, apparently they're going to re-kick. Well, maybe not. Howe's going to take the ball at their own 30. And I would imagine you'll see the knee right here. Take the victory formation and take the knee and go fix things at the half. I would imagine that would be the game plan, but it's not. It's going to be a double reverse, and Arturo Louder has it around the left edge. He's brought down after about a 4-yard gain, and that's the end of the first half. Howe, your Bulldogs trail 24-7. It's been a rough one so far, but maybe the Dogs will come back and bite the Wildcats here in the second half. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Looking to purchase a home? Michelle Castle and the team at Guild Mortgage Sherman are excited to announce 321 Home, our new exclusive program that gives first-time home buyers a $2,000 gift card to Home Depot and $1,500 towards closing costs. For more information, call us at 903-957-3100. That's 903-957-3100. Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Company NMLS number 3274. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're invited to the one and only Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Bucksnort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
Welcome back as it is halftime, and we'll have the halftime show in just a moment, but Caroline Slauson may have something for us down there at the half. Caroline? I thought she had some news for us. Hang on. I turned her down. There you go. Hey, sorry. My fault.
Turn me down.
Sorry.
No, I'm actually making my way up there, but I do have news, unfortunate news. Cameron Blesseye is going home. He has suffered a concussion.
Oh, that is terrible news. That's absolutely terrible news. Well, I know you're working your way up here, but that's boy, the things didn't already, have a bad smell to it the first half. That's really bad.
That's going from bad to worse.
Well, we are at the half, and Caroline is making her way up here. We'll take another really quick timeout, and then we'll have Caroline and Justin run the halftime show back right after this timeout.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs Halftime Show. Now let's join Justin White and Caroline Slauson.
All right, welcome back here to Wildcat Stadium here in Emory, Texas at Raines High School. I'm Justin White alongside Caroline Slauson as she gets all her stuff together. Did you make the mad sprint up here?
Yeah, I tried, but I gave up because there are so many people right there at the
big crowd here at Raines.
Yes, there it is. It really is. Yeah, so unfortunate news. Cameron Blessai is going home now.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to look at the glass half full here. You got Austin Lee. Lee's struggled the last couple of games. I made the stat earlier that he has had, I believe it was 20 carries for 55 yards in the last 2 games here against Bonham and Boyd, so they're going to need to rely on him. You do have other backs you can go to. You have Mason Riggs, you have Caden Harmon. That's the one thing about this this slot T type of offense is you've got a plethora of backs to go to, but you're missing now your leading rusher on this team. Yeah. So that's going to – and you're down 17 points here at the half, so that's going to be Bulldogs got the work cut out for them here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I heard you say earlier, Justin, it's one thing when the team, your opponent is beating you, but it's something when you are, beating yourself.
Yes.
And I feel like that's happening a lot here tonight for the Bulldogs, unfortunately.
And one thing I was telling Monty and Steven kind of off the air, it almost feels like, I don't know if the Bulldogs are still on the bus or what, but it's like the Wildcats are playing with a lot more energy than the Bulldogs. Now, middle about the second quarter, when they got that touchdown, they got a couple of defensive stops. They looked like they were starting to come alive there, but it's just almost like the Wildcats have wanted this more tonight so far. And again, with the injury to Blessai, that's gonna really hurt them. And
you're 100% right. It feels that way down on the sideline. And something I noticed, and you and Monty may have touched on it, I'm not sure, is really how young this Raines team is. They don't have very many senior starters, I don't believe.
Well, on offense, they are pretty young. They got, I believe, 6 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 1 senior. On the defensive side of the ball, they have 6 seniors and 3 juniors. We've talked a couple of times about this linebacking crew that they have, 4 linebackers, McCall, Garrett Ennis, Hinch, and Clymer. And so, on the defensive side of the ball, they've got a lot of upperclassmen. But talking about on the offensive side of the ball with Shepard, only a sophomore. He's kind of been the main show. I think 3 touchdowns here, 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half.
Well, I mean, before the game we were talking about how we had Howe by 10 points, and so this is not what I expected. I will say that. I mean, I know I'm pretty partial, but what do you think that Howe is doing and the coaches are talking about in the locker room for the second half?
I think one thing they're going to do is they got to try to stop this zone read attack they've got with Shepard and McCall. Make Shepard try to pass the ball. He don't have to throw it. It's been mostly Shepard. And another thing too, they've got to start tackling some people. They have it's been pretty poor here in the first half on tackles. That was one thing that Coach Jay had touched on during the coaches show was the little things, clean tackling, and the Bulldogs have had several missed tackles.
Well, I'd really hope the second half turns around for us. And hey, do y'all want some lottery numbers? I'm just wondering, because I said they're going to score on a drive. What they did, they scored on that drive.
All right, and the Mega Millions is big this weekend.
Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you on those numbers.
So
yes.
Let's take a break right quick here. We'll come back with some scores around the area. Bulldogs trail 24-7 to the Raines Wildcats here at the half.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
If you're looking for a welding company that will always meet your expectations, we are just the team you need. Robertson Welding Service can do industrial, commercial, or domestic. Robertson Welding Service guarantees the quality and satisfaction of your project at a fair price. We provide precision, custom, and repair service in all steels. We even weld aluminum and stainless. You can be comfortable that Robertson Welding Service is the right company for your project. We can be found on Facebook, or you can call us at 903-328-6588. That's 903-328-6588.
Monty, that was Damius Karowski on the tackle. Hey, this is Michael Mosier. I may not be up in that luxury outdoor suite on top of the press box, but hey, I'm still supporting the Bulldogs. I'm proud to be a part of the Howe Athletic Booster Club, where it's only $25 to become a member. I may have retired from pronouncing those difficult names on Friday nights, but I can say go Dogs without batting an eye. Become a black and white, towel-waving Bulldog fan by signing up at each home game behind the home bleachers, and remember, Aljundo Dakenstater on the stop.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
The First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
Welcome to the Howe Bulldogs halftime show. Now let's join Justin White and Caroline Slauson.
Justin, biggest question of the night. Be careful how you answer this. Who do you have for tomorrow's game? OU or UT? No, don't touch it. Don't you touch it.
I
remember who signed your checks too.
Right. I think it's going to be OU.
Yes, he is. You think it's going to be OU?
I think until you stop Kyler Murray and that whole offensive attack.
I'm going to go ahead and turn your mic off. No, I'm just joking.
But yeah.
Caroline and Justin back here at Wildcat Stadium. Halftime, 24-7. The Wildcats on top. But see, he just said that because of Monty. That's all.
No. I think it'll be a close game. It'll be a good game though.
All right, so some scores around. I'll do district. Commerce playing Lone Oak just down the road. Halftime 36-7. Lone Oak on top of Commerce in that one. Pottsboro playing Van Alstyne in Pottsboro tonight. 14-28. Van Alstyne on top of Pottsboro at the half. And finally, Bonham is off tonight, as well as Commerce. No, I'm sorry. Bonham's off tonight. So, yeah, everyone else, those are the scores around. I keep thinking, who am I missing? Obviously, it's us.
Yeah, this one right here.
It's us, yeah.
Let's see this from around just around the area. Saxey leading Garland at the half, 42-0. Wiley up on Lakeview Centennial, 21-10. That's also at the half. Starting the third quarter, Frisco 27, Princeton 13. John Tyler big on Wiley East, 34-0. Let's see here. Forney trailing Sulphur Springs, 28-21. Corsicana up on Terrell, 21-0. That's at the half. Ennis in a tight win over Royce City, 6-0. Rockwall and Mesquite in a shootout, tied at 28. That's in the second quarter. Kimball up on Spruce, 28-0. Seagoville leads Dallas Conrad, 35-6. North Forney 35, Greenville 14. Let's see, 24-19, North Mesquite over Tyler Lee. Wolf City and Celeste tied at 7. Winona leading Alba Golden 7-0. Honey Grove up on Cumbie 14-12 at the half. We talked about this game, 24-7. Raines leads Howe. Blue Ridge up over Whitewright 21-0. That is at the half. 28-24. Big Sandy up on Rivercrest. Como-Picton 26-0 over Trenton. I'm trying to look around here.
I got some other scores. Gunner at S&S tonight, 35-0 at the half. Gunner on top of S&S in that game. Denison at Lake Dallas playing the Falcons tonight. Halftime, 21-14 over Denison. And Anna at home tonight against Paris Wildcats. 1:29 already in the third quarter. They are.
Wow.
Yeah. 20-0 Paris on top of Anna.
A couple of finals from last night. 38-34, Godley defeats Canton. Naaman Forest beats North Garland 17-0. Rowlett up on South Garland 42-20. And Sherman loses to Mesquite Poteet 29-13. Those are all finals from last night. As we got the Bulldog cheerleaders and the Howe band has completed their part of the halftime show. It looks like Raines band and Fly Girls are coming out here. A little under 15 minutes to go here at the half. Bulldogs trail 24-7. We want to take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break, and Monty and you can take it from here.
All right.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
Looking to purchase a home? Michelle Castle and the team at Guild Mortgage Sherman are excited to announce 321 Home, our new exclusive program that gives first-time home buyers a $2,000 gift card to Home Depot and $1,500 towards closing costs. For more information, call us at 903-957-3100. That's 903-957-3100. Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Company NMLS number 3274.
Welcome back. We'll recap this first half for you. It was not pretty if you're a Howe Bulldog fan. The Raines Wildcats took the ball first as they won the coin toss, and they started at their own 37. Howe started out pretty nicely to start the game, only allowing a few yards and forcing the Raines Wildcats to punt on their first possession. When Howe took the football, they weren't, thank you, Mr. Braswell, they didn't have any success either in their first possession, and they were forced away after only 3 plays and out. The Raines Wildcats then took the ball at their own 27-yard line with 7:31 remaining in quarter number 1, and they drove 13 plays and 73 yards and scored on a Luke Shepard quarterback sneak or quarterback option around the left edge for 5 yards, and that gave us our first points of the night, 7-0. Raines led with 4:18 left. The drive took 3:14 off the clock. Howe took the ball at their own 32-yard line to start their next drive, drove up to the 32, or actually, they drove up and then drove back to the 32-yard line, forced a punt, and the snap went over the head of Bryce Krantz. Had to go all the way back to the 8-yard line, and that's where he landed on it, and that's where the ball turned over on downs to Raines. It took one play for Shepard to score his second touchdown of the night, and that was an 8-yarder, almost identical from the first touchdown he had around the left edge. So the one-play 8-yard drive gave Raines a 14-0 lead at the 2:32 mark in the first quarter. It took only 5 seconds off the clock on that one-play drive. Howe's next possession started at their own 19-yard line, and they drove up near midfield but turned it over on downs when they went for it on 4th down, and a tremendous play on a blitz by Raines linebacker Elijah Garrett Enos, who blitzed right up the middle and caught Elvington and drew him for a big loss. And that gave Raines the ball back at the 49-yard line right at midfield. However, Howe's defense held and forced a turnover on downs themselves. Howe took the ball at their own 31-yard line and then had to punt moments later. And Raines got the ball with 6:26 left to go, or 8:26 left to go, however, in the second quarter, and they drove up to the 28-yard line. They got it at Howe's 24-yard line, drove up to the 28, had a bad snap on the field goal, which gave Howe the ball at the 29-yard line. Drove up to the 46-yard line, and Howe, who's been stuffed up the middle all night long, unable to do anything on the interior portion of the line, gave it to Mason Riggs on a halfback pass, who hit Elijah Campbell for 46-yard strike. It was a great over-the-shoulder Willie Mays type catch by Elijah Campbell, and that ended the 6-play 71-yard drive and put Howe on the board for the first time tonight. 14-7 was our score with 4:32 remaining before the half. It was a 2-minute and 30-second drive by the Bulldogs. The Raines Wildcats then took the ball at their own 39, and 3 plays later, 53 yards, went Shepard around the right edge. He slipped out of tackles, actually, and what would have been a 8, maybe 9-yard loss in the backfield turned into a 53-yard touchdown. And quickly, Raines regained the lead 21-7 with 3:32 left to go in the second. They took only a minute off the clock on that drive. Howe took it at their own 15-yard line. Arturo Louder had a big gain up to the 40, a 26-yard run, but a fumble by Riggs gave it back to Raines, and they took possession with a minute 56 left to go before the half. They drove down all the way to the 4-yard line, were turned away by the clock and by the Bulldogs, but an injury to Shepard, the quarterback, forced a timeout on the field when Raines didn't have any. That stopped the clock and gave enough time for the field goal team to come in. And it was Balthrop who kicked the 20-yard field goal through to extend Raines' lead 24-7 with only 5 ticks on the clock before the half. Howe got the ball at their own 30 with basically 4 seconds on the clock, ran one play. Louder around the left edge, he was tackled, and that was the end of the first half. It was not a pretty one by any means. We understand that Cameron Blesseye has left the game and left the facility, perhaps, with a concussion. So more bad news for the Bulldogs as their star senior running back, who is their leading rusher and also one of the leading tacklers on defense, is out, it appears, for the remainder of the evening. We got about 8 minutes left before we kick off the second half. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back right after this.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
The First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
Well, you'll hear that tomorrow. Hopefully, if you're a Sooner fan as I, all day in Dallas, Texas. Yes, the Cotton Bowl. It's the State Fair time in Texas as the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners meet in their annual grudge match. And tomorrow both teams come in ranked, and it should be a great game. Your favorite broadcaster will be there tomorrow with his son, and that should be quite a moment for our family. That'll be a lot of fun. So tomorrow, 11 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Catches will be in the corner end zone on the Sooner side, on God's side of the stadium. Isn't that what they say? Yeah. Stephen Braswell up here with me is not agreeing with anything I say. He's a big Longhorn fan, and I got a lot of Longhorn friends. I'm not a hate Texas, horns down Sooner, but I do love a win on Saturday. So hopefully that'll take up for what has been an ugly first half here tonight in Howe Bulldog land. 24-7 here in Rains, as the Wildcats are leading the Bulldogs and have really dominated. I don't have statistics for the game, but it would be very ugly on the Howe side, as Rains has moved at will on offense with a high-powered, up-tempo offense, no huddle, and they've been moving quickly. And the difference in teams right here is one school, Rains, is at almost the top of the list. Let's see, Rains has 478 students in high school in their enrollment. That's what their numbers were figured at when they redid the districts. So 478 is the second most populous high school in our district, only behind, let's see, did I get that wrong? Bonham. Bonham is number one with 488. And then here Rains with 478. The next highest would be Van Alstyne with 469. The next fourth would be Commerce with 453. Fifth in the district would be Pottsboro with 424. Sixth in the district would be Lone Oak, right over here next to us, with 355 in their high school. And then last is Howe with 341 enrollment in the high school, which is the fifth smallest 3A Division I. Now, you'd like to think that if Howe were in Division II at the very top of the rankings, then things would be much different. They wouldn't be playing Rains, wouldn't be playing Commerce, wouldn't be playing Van Alstyne, wouldn't be playing Bonham. But that's the district you're in. I have a good idea. I've seen a lot of Howe Bulldogs football teams over the years. I think this one is not much different than the 2014 team that Howe had many years back when they first started running the slot T. The only difference between this team and that team is that they were in Division II, and they were playing S&S and Tom Bean and Whitewright and Leonard and teams like that are more comparable in school size, but also smaller in school size, which also helps. But Howe is going to have a disadvantage here this year and next year, being the smallest school, almost the smallest school in the state, 3A Division I. And where that has a difference, where it makes a difference, is in the second half. Not so much in the first half, although it does, but in the second half is really where it pays dividends for the opposing team, because they have so many more students, so many more athletes, so many more players that they rotate in, sub in. Some don't play. A lot of these teams do not play both ways. On the rosters in front of me and my depth charts, not one Rains player plays both ways. They have all of their players playing either offense or either defense. None play both. The starting quarterback last year for Rains now just plays outside linebacker. One of their best running backs, and you can tell he's their best running back. He came in a moment ago just for a couple of plays, Elijah Garrett Enos. He plays defense for the entire game. It's not so much in Howe. where Mason Riggs will split time offense and defense. Cameron Blessai, Austin Lee play offense and defense. Arturo Louder plays offense and defense. Devin Porter plays offense and defense. J.C. Helpenstell, offense and defense. Elijah Campbell, offense and defense. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference. And when it really shows up is here in the second half. Because especially when the opposing team runs a no-huddle offense and they really wear you out, especially defensively in the first half, it plays a toll. If you're worn out already in the first half, you can imagine what it's going to be like in the second half, Justin.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I thought this second half is going to be real interesting for the Bulldogs here. This is where you're going to have to really dig deep endurance-wise, because they're probably going to be able to platoon too deep here for rain. So same teams, players on offense don't play on defense.
Good news for Howe, if you're a Bulldog fan, is they will receive to start the second half. And Howe will be moving left to right, and they're all white tonight. It happens so often, but not every week. Howe comes out and they're all white. Sometimes the black bottoms and white tops, but tonight decided to go all white. We're just about ready to start the second half. Bryce Krantz, Caden Harmon, and Arturo Louder each stand inside the 10-yard line, ready for the Tech Wave kickoff. Balthrop is going to punch it away deep for Krantz at the 8-yard line. Catches it, moves up to the near hash. Now up the middle of the field and brought down at the 25-yard line.
All right. Money, I almost think at this point, I don't want to start speaking too soon, but the way the Range has been able to move the ball here in this game, I think this is really a crucial possession here for the Bulldogs. Maybe not their most important one, but it would really help your confidence if you go up, get a score, be down by 10, 24-14 early in the third.
Well, I'll double you one, and I'll say it's probably one of the most important offensive series of the entire season. Playoffs hinging on this game. And Elvington goes under center from the 25, and he'll hand off over right guard. Nothing doing there. Austin Lee maybe got back to the line of scrimmage at the 20.
You're not going to have Cameron Blessaw here in the second half, so you're going to need to rely on Austin Lee. And Austin Lee just got held up there right at the line, only a gain of 1.
So mark it at the 26. My apologies, I think I said the 20 a moment ago. Clock is rolling here at 11:28. And we're just underway here in the third quarter. Howe taking their time coming up to the line of scrimmage, but send trips out to the near side. Campbell Akins, and this is going to be the near side brought down on the backfield, and that is Krantz. And a loss there back to the 22-yard line.
Krantz took a couple of steps either to the left or to the inside and then rerouted back to the right side. There still wasn't anything there, and he loses 2 or 3 on the play. So Bulldogs, what they don't want to be in is 3rd and long. They find themselves 3rd and 12.
4-yard loss backs them up to the 23, or 3-yard loss backs them up to the 23. And 10:44 rolling here. 3rd down and 12, as you mentioned. 2 men in the backfield along with Krantz in the gun. He is going to fake and wants to throw. Rolls out right. Now he's going to tuck it. He's got the 20, 25, and down the sidelines to the 29-yard line, shy of the first down by about 5 yards. There is a flag down on the far side of the field.
Krantz in trouble, scrambled, got a little bit of yardage there, but he's going to be short. Let's see what the flag is.
I think that might be holding on reins. Let's check down with our Knight Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson. How's it going down there?
Going good. I didn't see, unfortunately, why that flag was thrown, though, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I think it's going to be holding on reins. It is a holding call, and it is on reins. So that'll move the sticks for Howe. That's fortunate. As we mentioned, this is a very crucial drive for Howe. If you're going to make the playoffs, you need to beat Rains. I mean, this is a game you have to have.
This is a winnable game.
And you have to score, you would think, right here. Here's a handoff, and boy, right met in the backfield. Immediately on the handoff is Caden Harmon, and that is Elia Garrett Enos again.
For the second time tonight, he has come through that line, and I swear, Monty, he's timing the count or something, because he's coming through there before you can hand off or do anything. I mean, you take 1-2 steps back by Elvington, and he's already down on the ground.
It was fumbled and then recovered by Alex Kellum. Thankfully for the Bulldogs, but you're right. He almost could have taken the handoff right there. Second down and 13. In the gun is Krantz. He'll hand off near side and met right there and brought down. Minimal gain, if any. Might have lost a yard, and I think that's Akins getting off the bottom of the pile.
I kind of talked about it during the halftime show there with Caroline. It seems like the Wildcats are just playing with more energy than the Bulldogs. I don't know if they're just we saw a little bit come alive a little bit in that second quarter, and it's carried over to the second half now. Wildcats just seem to be more energetic. They're running to the ball more. It's just I'm not sure what's going on here, but they have the momentum right now.
Colby Wyndon in the game at fullback. Mason Riggs in the game at halfback. And Riggs is going to get the carry, and he fumbles. And the ball is going to be picked up by Raines. And guess who? Scoring the touchdown is Elijah Garrett Ennis. What a player he is. And he takes it to the house to extend Raines' lead 30-7, awaiting the PAT.
It was a handoff to Riggs, and Riggs, I don't think ever got a handle on it. It just kind of rolled off his belly, down his thigh, and just onto the ground and right into the hands of Garrett Ennis. He runs back for a 30-yard gain, fumble recovery back the other way.
Balthrop on for the PAT. 8:50 on the clock here in quarter number 3. The snap's back. It's on the tee. The kick is up. Kick is through. And the kick is good. 31-7. Raines in the lead. We'll be back right after this timeout.
First back.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players.
Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Your Exalt Realty scoring drive recap, 0 plays because it was a fumble recovery, run back for a touchdown by Elijah Garrett Ennis. And that brings our new score 31-7 with 8:50 remaining in the third. Tech Wave kickoff is going to go to Krantz again at the goal line. He'll bring it out up the hash from the near side to the far, runs into defenders at the 15-yard line and is knocked backwards there. They'll give him progress to the 15, and that's where Howe will start with 8:41 on the clock.
Well, when it couldn't get any worse, it did. Bulldogs had a chance here on their opening possession and fumble it, and not only the fumble it, but it's recovered by Raines and runs back the other way, down 31-7. You just go back to the drawing board and just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to probably have to do have a few more wrinkles here from the offense. A reverse or maybe there's another halfback pass in the playbook.
Back in the game is Elvington, 1st and 10 from their own 15. And Elvington is going to be, a fumble, another fumble on the play. And Raines has recovered again. When it rains, it pours. And it's rained tonight. Wildcats all over the carpet. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the Howe 19-yard line.
Again, I didn't see if that was Harmon or Riggs who had that fumble or had the ball. And I didn't even see how it come out, but either way, it's a turnover here by the Bulldogs.
Guess who came up with it?
Garrett Ennis.
Elijah Garrett Ennis. So they'll have the ball at the 19-yard line of Howe. 8:34 on the clock, and Jax gets the hand right up the middle. And that'll be a minimal gain.
And they go to the line again, just a draw off the middle to Devin Jax. Had a pretty good game tonight. Been a battering ram for the Wildcats.
5 yards on the carry, and this time Shepard is going to be dropped for a loss back to the 22-yard line. Mason Riggs comes off the edge and makes the play. We've seen Shepard duck out of that a few times, very Romo-like tonight, but this time Riggs is able to catch him in the grasp and bring him down at the 22.
Riggs has had some bright spots here on this defense. He's cut a couple of tackles behind the line of scrimmage and been on Shepard, so he's done a good job there of keeping with his assignment.
8-yard loss, man in motion, and Shepard wants to throw down the field. It's going to be caught and brought down at the 11-yard line, and on the reception is Villegas, and that will not be enough for the first down, but it'll bring up a 4th and 2 situation at about the 11-yard line. 11-yard pass and catch from Shepard to Villegas.
And they're going for a 4th down.
Shepard in the gun. He fakes the hand. No, he gives it to Jax up the middle. Got enough for a first down to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. They'll spot it at the 7.
No reason for them to kick a field goal on that one. They've been moving the ball at will, and just a handoff to Jax and let him get the yardage, and he does that easily.
1st and goal. 2 men alongside Shepard, and this will be a handoff to the left side and into the end zone. Easily is Duke Hurley on a 7-yard touchdown. He played a near slot, and he just got the hand simply from the right side to the left side over left tackle into the end zone.
Just kind of weaved his way through the defense there. And again, just not a lot of good tackling here by the Bulldogs. Barely able to get a hand on him.
On for the PAT is Mothwack, and it's up, and it's good. So our new score here in Emory is 38-7. Reigns in the lead. 7:03 left to go, and quarter number 3. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Looking to purchase a home? Michelle Castle and the team at Guild Mortgage Sherman are excited to announce 321 Home, our new exclusive program that gives first-time home buyers a $2,000 gift card to Home Depot and $1,500 towards closing costs. For more information, call us at 903-957-3100. That's 903-957-3100. Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Company NMLS number 3274. To compete at the highest level, you need reliable teammates to share the load, strong leadership, and unquestionable character. It's true in athletics, and it's true with financial services. At Independent Bank, we understand success on the field is a result of unseen hours of hard work and preparation long before the first whistle. Visit any of our branches, and you'll find local bankers invested in the community, committed to building strong business partnerships and helping families reach their financial goals. Independent Bank is proud to be a part of Howe Student Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Tech Wave kickoff goes to Krantz again from the 5-yard line. He brings it out to the 15, and he's hammered down hard right there. They'll spot it at the 16 and give Howe the ball to start this next drive. 6:56 on the clock. That's your Tech Wave kickoff. Let's go over our Exalt Realty scoring drive recap. It was 5 plays and 19 yards for the Reigns Wildcats. It took roughly about a minute and a half off the clock. And our new score 38-7, Reigns in the lead. 6:56 on the clock here now. Elvington's going to hand off from one side to the other on the wing trap. And Arturo Lauder is brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Trying to come through that line there, number 73, Ty White. One of the big defensive tackles, able to get some penetration, bring down Lauder. You know, this is feeling a lot similar to the Boyd game, where you pretty much have got dominated for most of the game, and you're down 38-7. This is where you just kind of, you don't quit right now. Keep doing what you're doing and just try to make this thing respectful.
Elvington under center, and a fumbled snap again, and this time he's going to be slung down, but they'll give forward progress to the 14-yard line. Let's check down with our Night Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson. It's got to be going better down there than it is up here. I don't know.
It's not. It's not. And I was just thinking, I hate to say this, but this one's a hard one to watch.
It's getting ugly. 5:49 on the clock. The ball is spotted near the 14-yard line, so a 3-yard loss. And Krantz comes in, and he's in the gun. Riggs is with him in the backfield, and he gets the snap, and he's going to punt it away, and he punts it into the back of the lineman. It's picked up by the Raines defensive back, and he makes his way down to about the 8-yard line. And returning that for Raines was Tyler Mandrell, as it was just kicked into the back of one of the offensive linemen. And now Raines is in great shape, but there's a flag down apparently.
And Monty, maybe I'm not paying attention enough. I didn't think that was 4th down. That was 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a quick kick. They're just trying to kick it out of there.
Just get it.
And a flag is down. They're going to pick it up at the 9. We'll see what happens here. Just a quick kick to get it out of there. Start over, fresh start, but it didn't work.
Holding.
It's going to be holding against Raines.
And so they'll have the ball at the Bulldog 19.
So they will take possession.
So the pooch kick was blocked, partially blocked and returned.
5:26 on the clock and a fumble. And I believe, the fumble, and I was fixing to say it never turns out Howe's way on a fumble, but it just did.
Yeah, he tried to hand it off to the running back there, and it never got to him, and ball went all up in the air, and then was brought down by number 3, Jordan Jones, who was just brought up to varsity. It was recovered by him.
Welcome to varsity, Jordan Jones. A fumble recovery gives Howe another chance at life here at their own 18-yard line with 5:22 left to go here in quarter number 3. And I can't keep up on this sheet, so many fumbles going on. Elvington. And we'll hand off, and not much doing there. I think that's Austin Lee across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
An Austin Lee sighting. We haven't seen a lot of Lee this second half.
A nice little pickup there of about 3.5 yards. They'll spot it at the 22. A nice spot for Howe. Yeah, it'll bring up 2nd down and 6 as we go under the 5-minute mark.
Well, they were inside the 15-yard line, did that little pooch punt to get it out of there, recover the fumble. Now they're at their own 22-yard line, so they're a little bit better field position.
Elvington sends a man in motion. That's Harmon, and he's going to turn around. He's going to hand it off to Wyndon, and he's met hard by 2 defenders around the right defensive end, and that'll be no gain on the play.
So put themselves in a third and 7, 3rd and 8 situation, 3rd and 6.
I think that was Wyndon's first carry of the season.
I believe so too.
And I don't know if he's going begging for another carry after that or not. He was hit pretty hard by 2 defenders, sandwiched there by Colton Gable and Judd McCall.
Wildcats are hitting pretty hard out there tonight.
3rd down and 6. Elvington under center. Man in motion from left to right. Toss near side. Mason Riggs looking for a block. And he will get one block. That's actually Austin Lee. Close to a 1st down. Then a late flag comes out.
Looks like that may be a late hit by somebody. I'm not sure if that was. I saw Riggs and I see number 3 there, Judd McCall, tangling.
It'll be personal foul against Howe, personal foul against Raines. They offset.
Replay the down.
Replay it. So again, we'll try 3rd down and 6 with 3:53 on the clock. And Elvington making the call in the huddle. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. The ball's placed at the 27-yard line. And now mass substitution.
Are they going to try to punt this again?
Well, it's 4th down and 1 now. After the penalty, after they offset, I guess, it's 4th down and 1, and now Campbell's going to go back to punt this one away. And he'll stand at his 19-yard line on 4th and 1 from their own 27. And Campbell's punt is going to be a high kick off the side of his foot. Not a long punt by any means. Will bounce at the 42-yard line out of bounds on the Howe side of the field, and that's where Raines will start.
So instead of the offsetting penalty to make it 3rd and 6, it was 4th and 1. Bulldogs decided to punt the ball.
I don't understand. Yeah, I guess that's right. They didn't replay the down.
Yeah.
So they just went with okay, I got you. Everything's getting muddy up here.
Yeah. And it's looking ugly down there.
Yeah.
At least on the Howe side right now.
They'll spot the ball at the 40 for Raines, actually, at the Howe 40. 1st down and 10, right to left. Raines in all blue. Handoff Jacks right up the middle. Escapes a couple of defenders. And a couple of Bulldogs ride him for 9 yards to the 32-yard line.
I'll tell you what, I guess Raines didn't see it, but there were 3 receivers out wide to the right and only 2 DBs over there.
J.D. Thornton and Arturo Louder in coverage on the far side. Another handoff. Jacks up the middle. He's flipped over, end over end. Ball's on the turf. Picks up by Devin Porter. 50, 40. Chased down by Shepard and knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Devin Porter picked up the fumble and returned it about 50 yards.
Porter rumbling and tumbling down the field. Look, Parker Blunt got to do it a couple of weeks ago against Boyd. Porter went it in on the party, and he picks up the fumble and rumbles down into Wildcat territory. A bright spot here for the Bulldog defense.
3:12 in the 3rd, and Howe has the ball in one of the very few times on the Raines side of the field at the 28-yard line. Elvington will come under center. Lee and Riggs in the backfield. Elvington now looks, trying to send a man in motion. He doesn't go in motion, and now Arturo Louder does go in motion, and Elvington's going to run around the left edge, and he's met hard after a 2-yard gain up to the 26-yard line around the left edge.
Yeah, almost looked like an option play there, but he kept it and went around. He got smacked pretty hard there for the 2-yard gain.
There is an injured Raines player down. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
Elijah Garrett Enos is the injured Raines player, and he'll limp off the field. He'll have to come out for one play. Boy, you better make this one a big one.
Yeah, make this one count here. He's a player that the Wildcats don't want to miss.
He is by far the best player on the field tonight. Man in motion. Yeah, this is going to be Harmon, or this is Akins rather, coming near side. Tries to cut, spin, and he's going to be trouble. Horse collar brought down for maybe a yard loss at the 26-yard line. I guess he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And now they'll give him forward progress to the 23.
Akins going around that right side there. He tried to cut back. I thought maybe he could have kept going there around the corner. I thought he had a little bit more yardage there. Kind of cut it back to the inside. And again, the Bulldogs are in 3rd and 5.
Garrett Ennis still out of the game with 2:11 left to go in the 3rd. 3rd and 5 coming up. Elijah Campbell will split out wide to the left. Arturo Louder and Joseph Brennan are the wings. Austin Lee is the fullback. Louder goes in motion, and I think we have a timeout on the field. Howe does call a timeout. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for here at Scoggins Funeral Home in Van Alstyne. Since the beginning, affordability has been at the top of our checklist. Every day, we're proving that funerals don't have to be expensive. From our facilities to having a personalized service, all of the details are addressed. Nothing can cause you more disappointment than poor quality. Make it special. Make it Scoggins Funeral Home. We put our name on it. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins are here with you in your time of need. Visit scogginsfuneralhome.com.
Welcome back as the players coming back out on the field. And 3rd and about 5 coming up for Howe. It's been a struggle tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It kind of got something going here. Got a little bit of spark there from the Devin Porter fumble recovery. And this is 4-down territory here at the Raines 23-yard line. It's got to be right now when you're down 38-7.
You know, we've talked about Howe's rushing game has been really the backbone of this team all year long, and have done such a great job. They've just had a really hard time getting anything going tonight. So our two are Louder and Brennan are the wings. Louder goes in motion and movement up front. Austin Lee moved a little bit early. And this one's going to be motion against Howe. So back that one up. Instead of 3rd and 5, it's going to be 3rd and 10 with $1.57 left to go in quarter number 3.
Again, we talk about it's one thing when you're getting beat by the other team. When you're beating yourselves with penalties like that, that's another. And the Bulldogs find themselves at 3rd and 5 with an false start. They find themselves at 3rd and 10. The hits just keep on coming.
So ball now at the 28-yard line. And we'll see what Coach McCormick, the offensive coordinator, elects to do here. Again, 2 wings and 1 fullback. Louder goes in motion. Elvington under center. And again, flags fly before this would get underway. And Raines is real happy. They're clapping, and it's again motion against Howe. And it's getting kind of sloppy.
I don't understand. Are they trying to, if they change the snap count and everybody's on the same page, are they trying to get Raines to jump and they're shooting themselves in the foot and making their own guys jump? Or I'm not sure what's going on here. That's 2 false starts in a row.
3rd and 15 is what it's going to be now. Krantz will come into the game. Elijah Campbell comes into the game in place of Waldrop. So it's 3rd and 15 at the 33-yard line. And Krantz is in the gun, and he'll fake the hand, wants to throw, looking for Elijah Campbell, and now he's going to run. And he is going to be tackled at the 33-yard line by number 33, the linebacker, James Hinch, who makes a pretty nice open field tackle with a minute left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Krantz was looking for Campbell, looking for Porter, and good coverage downfield by Raines, and then good open field tackle there by Hinch.
I'm not sure Krantz really gave that time to develop. He looked Campbell's way and then just took off.
Looked like he wanted to run first.
I think before even Campbell made his route move, Krantz had made up his mind that he better get out of there, and he did. So now there's twins set up to the left side with Waldrop and Campbell, and this time Krantz is under pressure and brought down from behind at the 40-yard line on 4th and 15, and the ball will turn over on downs at the Raines 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like number 62, Donovan Throneberry, comes knifing through the offensive line there for the Wildcats, and it looked like Krantz maybe fumbled that snap for just about a half a second, and that gave even more time for Throneberry to come through. Tackle him for a loss. Ball goes over to Raines.
1st and 10, right to left. The Raines Wildcats. Garrett Ennis in the backfield for Raines, and he'll get the carry right up the middle, and he's met, and a fumble. House says for a moment that they had it, but they do not, and Raines gets it back. Garrett Ennis has fumbled twice when he's come back into the game on offense. It was recovered by the quarterback, Luke Shepard.
Yeah, last couple of possessions you talked about, Garrett Ennis has fumbled the ball, so some ball security issues by Raines, and that's it in the first half, 3rd quarter.
Well, we are heading to the final 12 minutes of a very long football game. We'll be right back right after this.
If you're looking for a welding company that will always meet your expectations, we are just the team you need. Robertson Welding Service can do industrial, commercial, or domestic. Robertson Welding Service guarantees the quality and satisfaction of your project at a fair price. We provide precision, custom, and repair service in all steels. We even weld aluminum and stainless. You can be comfortable that Robertson Welding Service is the right company for your project. We can be found on Facebook, or you can call us at 903-328-6588. That's 903-328-6588.
Monty, that was Damius Karowski on the tackle. Hey, this is Michael Mosier. I may not be up in that luxury outdoor suite on top of the press box, but hey, I'm still supporting the Bulldogs. I'm proud to be a part of the Howe Athletic Booster Club, where it's only $25 to become a member. I may have retired from pronouncing those difficult names on Friday nights, but I can say go Dogs without batting an eye. Become a black and white, towel-waving Bulldog fan by signing up at each home game, behind the home bleachers, and remember, Aljundo Dakenstater on the stop.
Quick pass out by Shepard, caught by his receiver, Sean Terry. A nice diving catch will bring up 3rd and 5 from the Raines 46-yard line. Flip it around. Raines moving left to right. They're in a hurry again, and they're going to hand off to McCall from one side to the other. Bounces it back, comes near side along the far hash, and he'll have enough for the first down at the Howe 46-yard line.
Got the handoff there, went around that left side. The Bulldogs looked like they kind of had him cornered, and he was able to cut back inside and able to get a first down there. Bulldogs had a chance to make it a 4th down.
1st and 10, left to right. Shepard's barking and now handing off up the middle, and that's McCall. And he's taking Spencer Akins for a ride along with 2 other Howe Bulldogs. Jordan Jones right there to help make the stop along with Stephen Waldrop. It'll be a 7-yard gain up to the 39-yard line.
Judd McCall, one of the seniors on this team, moved the pile there about 5 yards after initial contact.
2nd down and 3 coming up, 10:49 on the clock. Man in motion, but Shepard wants to throw, rolling out right side under pressure, and he misfires trying to hit his slot receiver, Mason Songer, and just right over his head falls incomplete. That stops the clock at 10:40. Howe trails 38-7.
If he would try to loft it over there to Songer, if it would have got to him, Songer had a little bit of real estate in front of him. Could have probably get a first down out of that, but good pressure by the Bulldogs make Luke Shepard uncomfortable there with that throw.
Look out for McCall right here on 3rd and 3. He gets the hand, running right side, and he is brought down. A nice play by Joseph Brennan around the left edge. Will set up a 4th and 4 perhaps after a yard loss by McCall. A great play by Brennan there.
Good job by Brennan, Caden Harmon there to kind of slow him down, cut him back inside, right into the arms of Brennan. Good job, Brennan, to wrap him up and bring him down.
4th down and 3 for Raines. 10:15 left to go in the game. Man in motion and movement up front by Raines, and the flags come. Caroline Slauson, our Night Furniture sideline reporter. What is going on down there on the far side?
I mean, I wish I could tell you. I wish that it just, when they have the ball, they just cannot come up with anything, unfortunately.
Has there been a Moondog sighting down there?
Well, what I can tell you is Moon cannot be around the Gator. I can tell you that. Yes, but he is down here.
Here's a handoff to McCall right up the middle, and he's not going to get enough for a first to the 29-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. It was offsides, if you're wondering why it's 2nd down. It was offsides against Howe, which gave them a fresh set of downs. So ball now at the 29, and this will be a Shepard wanting to throw, and he hits his man and brought down right at the first down marker. And I believe that is going to be Dylan Brown on the reception, and it's going to be close to a first down. Elvington in coverage, and the ball spotted at the 23.
Again, they haven't thrown the ball a lot today, but I'll tell you what, if this Raines team, if they can ever, as far as spread the ball around with the receivers, they could be a dangerous team. They got a pretty good defense. They got an athlete there with Shepard, a quarterback, and they got some decent receivers.
Illegal man downfield against Raines will push the ball back to the 34-yard line and bring up 2nd down 11. The clock is winding at 9:24. And the Raines players are pumping their arms. They've taken quite a bit of time off this 4th quarter clock. Howe's yet to touch the ball in the 4th, and another flag comes down.
I think that's false start on the Wildcats.
2nd down and 11, and you're right. They'll back that one up. It'll be 2nd down and 16 coming up. Raines leading Howe 38-7. Their defense has shut down Howe almost completely the entire night. If it weren't for a halfback pass, Howe would be shut out at the moment.
That was going to be a key matchup here tonight, was how the Howe offense would go against the Raines defense, and the Raines defense has answered the call.
And another flag. And we'll see what this one is. Again, false start against Raines.
This second half has been pretty sloppy by both teams. I mean, we got false starts happening for Howe. They were in a 3rd and 5 situation, got moved back 3rd and 15. They're fumbling the ball, and then now here Raines has fumbled the ball in a couple of possessions, and they've had back-to-back false start penalties.
Raines is a completely different team here in the second half.
They really are.
have not been crisp whatsoever. Man in motion, and they're going to hand off one side to the other, and that's Hurley who gets the handoff, and he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 45.
Jet sweep to Hurley there, and I believe maybe Aikens in on the tackle there.
8:35, and the clock is moving here in Emory, Texas, in Rains County. They pull kids from all over the county. They got a good one in Elia Garrett-Ennis. And Shepard wants to throw deep down the field, looking for a receiver, and overshoots Colt Rivera. And it'll be incomplete. And that'll bring up 8:17. Again, Colt Rivera reminds me of Colt McCoy. Tomorrow is the Red River Showdown. It is OU and Texas, and it'll be fun as we've had a lot of fun up here tonight. Got a couple of Longhorn fans in the booth with me.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. First time they've been ranked, I believe, since 2012, I believe was the last time they were both ranked.
Yeah, they gave it to Texas just to make the game interesting a little bit. Here's a high snap for the punter, back and booting it away down to about the 24-yard line, and recovering it is McCall at the 26. Now, I've seen some game film over the Rains Wildcats. There's 8:12 on the clock, by the way.
It's not the same Rains team you saw on tape?
I've not. No, this is by far, at least the first half was by far the best execution that Rains has had in any game they have played to this point. It's not even close.
Yeah.
In prior games, they would run into each other on misdirections, and they were trying to throw the football down the field. That was, they had a different philosophy tonight. They took advantage of it, and they've actually executed well. And here's Elvington going to hand off to the right side, good for a couple of yards. And I'll have to see who that was. I believe it was Mason Riggs on the carry, and it was. He'll get 3 yards up to near the 29-yard line. 7:53 left to go in the game. But the Howe Bulldogs just haven't been able to get anything going. But when you lose Cameron Blesseye early in the game, that doesn't help matters either.
Yeah, I wonder if that kind of took the wind out of their sails there with losing Blesseye. And then you're down 14-0 right off the bat.
Wyndon at fullback, Aikens at tailback. Wyndon gets the carry, and he is hit hard. He stood up through the hole at the 30-yard line, and now late flags come down. And one of the Rains defenders has his arms in the air. Zane Vincent has his palms to the sky, and then throws his hands in the air like a referee would for a successful PAT. And apparently this penalty is going to go against Rains. You would think personal foul against Howe.
It was one against Rains too, right before the official made that call. So I think it's offsetting.
Well, I don't know. They look like they're stepping this one off.
Well, okay.
So it's against Howe.
I swore he pointed to the Rains side just a second ago. Maybe he meant the Howe side.
So back to the 16-yard line goes Howe.
So it is against Howe, yeah. Okay. But you talk about Rains and looking how they looked on tape and looking tonight. They don't look like the team that lost 51-0 to Van Alstyne.
No chance.
That or Van Alstyne must be looking really good.
Well, they were over Pottsboro earlier in the game.
They were.
So now 2nd down and 20 coming up from Howe. For Howe. Handoff to Brennan over right tackle. Slam down hard at the 18-yard line. It's just been one of those nights.
And then it won't get easier for the Bulldogs after tonight. They got Pottsboro next week. So they'll find themselves 0-2.
0-2 in district after tonight. Staring at 0-3, and
got their work cut out for them. They're going to make the playoffs this year.
They're going to have to beat Pottsboro, Lone Oak, one of the Lone Oak Commerce. Here's a great punt by Elijah Campbell back to the 40-yard line of Rains. Going to be fielded in a nice return so far up the left hash. Breaking out is Bry Kelly, and he'll break several tackles along the left side. Inside the Howe 25, down at the 24-yard line, a flag down.
There are 2 flags on the play, guys.
And Arturo Louder limping off again. Something with his left ankle knee area, and he is being helped off the field. And 2 flags down, as Caroline Slauson mentioned.
Louder's going to be pretty sore tomorrow in that leg area. He's limped off a couple of times tonight.
6:17 left to go in the game. And we'll check, see what these flags are. Man alive. Is this like a pre-district game? Because that's what it feels like here in the second half. Flags everywhere, jumping off sides, fumbles. This is not district number 2 game by normal standards.
It feels like scrimmage. The way the mistakes are coming. You don't feel like you wouldn't think they'd be having, all these penalties. The quarterback exchanges that we've talked about continue to haunt the Bulldogs as well.
Crowd on the far side kind of looks like a scrimmage as well. Personal foul against Howe. You hate to see that. Ball at the 12-yard line.
Bulldogs just going to need to do a good job of keeping their composure. We've all been there where you get beaten pretty soundly. But you got to maintain your composure.
So this will be a handoff to McCall. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. I believe that's Waldrop they're betting there.
There was Stephen Waldrop coming up from his linebacker position, able to beat McCall at the line.
5:57, the clock is rolling. McCall into the game. Behind Shepard, new quarterback into the game. He throws it out right side, going to be caught near side and brought down, slung out of bounds is Mason Songer at the 8-yard line. New quarterback into the game for Raines is Andrew Balthrop. He's been the PAT kicker for the entire evening. And they'll spot it at the 8-yard line.
And number 2, Duke Hurley laid a good block, or a big block there on Leighton Elvington. Elvington wasn't even seeing it coming. Kind of hit him in the ear hole there. And Elvington is slow to get up there.
Balthrop handoff McCall, left side, looking for some room. Cut off, now cuts back, and now's drop back. And about a yard loss around the left edge for the Raines Wildcats as the clock continues to roll at 5:17. 4th down coming up.
Good pursuit by the Bulldogs. Like Jordan Jones was the committee of Bulldogs. He was chairing that committee.
They'll spot the ball at the 10, and it'll be 4th down at 6 from the 10, and now the field goal attempt of 26 yards. The tee is spotted at the 16, so Balthrop on for the field goal attempt. It's on the tee, it's high from the left hash, and it's good. 26-yard field goal by Andrew Balthrop. And the lead is extended to 41-7. We'll be back right after this timeout.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
The First Baptist Church here in Howe, Texas would like to invite you and your family to a celebration of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Each Sunday morning at 10:30, we meet for worship at 100 East Davis Street in Howe. Prior to that, we have relevant Bible fellowships for all ages beginning at 9:15. Join us each week to declare the hope that is found only in Christ. Be ready to experience the life-changing power of the gospel. There is only one message for every generation, and that message is Jesus.
This is more than a bundle. This is more than a bundle. This is way more.
Sorry about that, Ed. Here's the Tech Wave kickoff, going to be taken at the 25-yard line, and that is Akins. Will return it up to about the 29, and Howe will start there with 4:49 on the clock. The scoring drive recap: 4 plays, 20 yards, capped off by a 26-yard field goal by Balthrop. Extends the lead 41-27 with 4:22 left to go in the game. And they stopped the clock right now at 4:20. It was rolling there for just a moment.
Van Alstede leading Pottsboro in the fourth quarter, 41-14. And Lone Oak up on Commerce, 44-24. That's still in the third quarter.
Lee and Riggs on the backfield along with Leighton Elvington. And he'll give it to Lee over right guard. And not much doing there, maybe a yard or two up to the 31-yard line.
The Wildcat defensive line there continues to make things tough for the interior running game for the Bulldogs.
Wyndon and Brennan check in the backfield for Howe.
That three-man defensive line, Colton Gable, Zane Vincent, and Hunter Mosley. Vincent came in with 30 tackles. Mosley came in with 24 tackles. And they've done a good job for for the Wildcats up front.
Second down and 8 coming up. This is going to be a toss to Joseph Brennan, trying to find the right edge on the far side. Stiff arms a man down. He's going to gain 5 yards before he's slung out of bounds, or 4 yards rather. Slung out around the 34-yard line, bringing up a third and about 5 for the Bulldogs.
Trying to test that right side, see if they can. They've had a little bit of success over that, along around the edges.
Just going to have to create some space. Brennan has some speed.
He does.
If he can get around the edge, there's enough to go. It's 3rd and 4. 3:32 on the clock. He must have got out of bounds because the clock is stopped. 2 men in the backfield. Austin Lee is one of them. He'll get the carry over the near side. Not enough there. Maybe a yard to the 36. And Lee has been bottled up for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, he's had a tough time coming. And you think about this, Monty, this is kind of where you, maybe part of the season where you wish you had the bye week in the middle.
The bye week would have been nice somewhere after the Boyd game.
Maybe even better right now because who knows how long you're without Blesseye.
That's a fact. Campbell's going to punt this one away from his own 14. And flags will go down before he was able to punt it away. It would have been a great punt. Rolls all the way down to almost it does. It hits the 10, goes inside the 10 to the 8. What a great punt that would have been.
Now the official's got to go all the way back there to retrieve that.
It's going to be against Howe. Slumped shoulders in white jerseys tonight.
These are hard games to play when you're down like this. These are hard games to broadcast.
Under 3 minutes left to go in the game. It will be a short post-game show. Yeah, it'll be a long trip home, too. It'll be a long trip for broadcasters, be a longer trip for the men in white tonight. Campbell back to punt inside his 20 at the 19. This one's a
good
low
punt.
line drive kick, bounces at the 32. Not as good as the last punt, but it's going to be fielded at the 30. Making his way up the far side is Kelly. He's got a lot of speed, crosses midfield into Howe territory at about the 45-yard line. 2 flags on the play, and we'll have to check that. Imagine that. You can't go one play without flags.
It's been that sloppy tonight. And Bry Kelly, where has that speed been tonight? It's another weapon for the Wildcats.
Again, a lot of these range players, there's a lot of them. A lot of athletes. They pull from the entire county. And just many of their weapons is Kelly right there with that speed. They're going to bring the penalty. He's going to bring the ball all the way back into range territory, way back to about the 29-yard line.
We brought it up earlier, too. This is kind of the part of the game, too, where that enrollment we talked about earlier there around halftime, beginning of the third quarter, when all those students, all those players they had to choose from can play. Bulldogs play both ways. Range doesn't necessarily have to do that.
They're going to move it even further back to the 19-yard line is where they'll start. Balthrop, the quarterback's going to hand off to McCall right up the middle. No, Balthrop keeps it, and he's going to run. And it's brought down by J.C. Helpenstill by the collar of his shirt.
No flag.
At about the 12-yard line. So a 7-yard loss, or is it? Where do they spot that? At the 12. 7-yard loss. A 2-yard loss, rather. Check that.
And the clock.
Ball at the 17, not the 12. And they're chewing up the clock now, letting it go down to 7 on the play clock. And here's a handoff to Hurley around the left edge from one side to the other, and he'll be brought down after maybe a yard gain, or maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 12 coming up for Raines from their own 17-yard line, and we're just trying to get this puppy in the garage.
Clock can't move fast enough, I don't think.
1:16 on the clock, and I think everybody's willing to just let this one curtail down to the very end. Man in motion, and Bouncerop wants to throw the deep ball down the middle, and that's going to be incomplete and a flag. Jordan Jones in coverage along with Grant.
Interesting play. I mean, you're up 41-7, 1:03 to go, and you throw it down, you're throwing the ball.
Yeah, not sure about that one. They're going to bring this one back. It's going to be, well, it's pass interference against Howe.
There was some contact by the Bulldogs, but I almost wonder if that was uncatchable.
I don't know if it was ethical, but it wasn't catchable.
Yeah.
1st down and 10 for Howe, left to right, ball at the 31. And now it appears they're just going to snap it and down it, and they do. And that should be.
They may have one more play they got to run.
Yeah, they're going to have to snap it one more time. Again, we're going to have a very quick post game tonight. Not much to talk about. We'll recap it, and we'll head home. We've got Sooner Magic tomorrow, and there's the down right there. 28 seconds left to go in the game. And that, my friends, is the ball game. Slumped shoulders in the white shirts tonight. They'll tuck their tails and head back to Howtown. Raines had a successful homecoming 2018.
They saved their best game of the season for Howe and for this homecoming crowd.
No question, it was by far the most impressive outing by the Raines Wildcats so far in 2018. Let's quickly recap this game, if we will. Raines got the ball first because they won the coin toss. They were forced to punt on their very first possession. Howe also was forced to punt in their first possession. Raines finally eventually got on the scoreboard in their second possession. They drove it all the way down, 13 plays, 73 yards. Quarterback Luke Shepard ran around the left edge for a 5-yard touchdown, which put Raines on the board first, 7-0, with 4:18 left to go in the first quarter. Howe then got the ball, went to the 32-yard line, was forced to punt. The snap was over the head of Bryce Krantz, who had to go back and get it at the 8-yard line, which gave Raines the ball there at the 8. A moment later, one play later, Shepard ran the same play around the left edge for an 8-yard touchdown to give the Raines Wildcats a 14-0 lead with 2:32 left to go in quarter number 1. Howe's next possession was a turnover on downs thanks to a blitz by Elijah Garrett-Ennis, who brought down quarterback Leighton Elvington for a big loss. However, the Bulldogs were able to turn away Raines on down as well, and Howe's next possession ended on a punt. Raines' next possession ended on a bad snap on a field goal. Howe's next possession was a 46-yard touchdown from Mason Riggs to Elijah Campbell on a halfback pass. That, my friends, was the only points of the evening for the Howe Bulldogs. That was a 6-play, 71-yard drive, and it cut the Raines lead 14-7 with 4:32 left to go in quarter number 2. And for a moment, we thought the Bulldogs might be in business, cutting that lead to 14-7 in the second. However, only 3 plays later, Shepard, who was in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, looked to be sacked, escaped, ran 53 yards for a touchdown to cap off a 3-play, 61-yard drive, and Raines quickly bounced back 21-7, 3:32 on the clock, quarter number 2. Howe got the ball and fumbled it. By this time, Cameron Blessi was out of the game. Concussion. Mason Riggs got the carry. It rolled down his leg, and Raines was able to recover it at the 40-yard line. Drove 7 plays, 36 yards, and Andrew Bouthrop kicked a 20-yard field goal with 5 seconds remaining in the half to give the Raines Wildcats a 24-7 lead at the half. It was a 7-play, 36-yard drive. Howe took the ball with only 4 seconds remaining, ran 1 play, and went to the house. Howe got the ball to start the second half because they lost the coin toss, and it quickly went 5 plays before fumbling again. Elijah Garrett Ennis picked it up, ran about 25 yards for the score, and they extended their lead 31-7 with 8:50 remaining in quarter number 3. Howe's next possession was 1 play, and it also was a fumble, and it also was Elijah Garrett Ennis who recovered it. And then they went 5 plays, 19 yards, and scored on a 7-yard touchdown run around the left edge by Hurley. And that gave the Raines Wildcats a 38-7 lead with 7:03 remaining in quarter number 3. Howe's next possession ended in a quick punt that went off the back of one of the Howe linemen, which gave the Raines the ball at the 19. They fumbled. Howe got it back. They punted, and then it got really sloppy. Fumble recovery by, I believe it was Devin Porter, who raced down about 50 yards, put Howe in great scoring position, but Howe wasn't able to capitalize, turned it over on downs. Raines got the ball, held it for 9 plays, and weren't able to score. Howe got it back. I mean, penalties, fumbles, it was just really ugly.
Worst part of the game.
Finally, later on in the game, it was another 26-yard field goal by Bouthrop for our final score of the game, 41-7. Raines wins tonight over the Howe Bulldogs. Howe falls to 3-3 on the season, 0-2 in district play. It's going to be really tough to get into that playoff race now. You got to beat some pretty good teams from here on out, and you need some help from some of these teams to beat some of the good teams. So you really got your work cut out for you to get in the playoff race from here on out. Bonham and Raines were 2 teams that you really needed to beat in district play and come out 0-2 to start district play. So it's going to be a tough row here on out.
You know, and let's be real too. About this. Cameron Blessi goes out. He's probably one of the best players on this team, but I don't think he would have made a big difference in this game. Bulldogs just they looked like they sleptwalked through the first quarter, and they finally came alive in the second quarter. We talk about bringing it into 14-7, but just couldn't seem to put things together. I don't think even if you had Blessi, it would have made that big of a difference.
Well, it's been an interesting night over here in Raines County. I don't know that I've been a part of a broadcast similar to this one. It's been a long time, if it has. But anyway, the Bulldogs, tried and true, will always be there. We'll always have our paw in the air after every game, no matter win or lose. We are proud Howe Bulldogs. So for everyone who's been a part of this one, including our Night Furniture sideline reporter Caroline Slauson, our color analyst Justin White, and our spotter Stephen Braswell, I'm Monty Walker, and we will see you next week.
Listening to Howe Bulldogs football on HoweEnterprise.com, and is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm, Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Attorney Micah Belden, Bucks Norton Barbecue, Tech Wave, Robertson Welding Services, Night Furniture, FBC Howe, Howe Athletic Booster Club, Independent Bank, Exalt Realty. This has been a presentation of Grayson Publishing.